Everyone got quiet. Relax, guys.
It's because you forced us to shut the fuck up.
Well, I forced Tamer to talk about it.
Well, 3 seconds before you said the N-word.
I know,
so
right?
Kind of quiet.
Drop an N-bomb on you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Why is there a Band-Aid? Is that a Band-Aid on your laptop?
It is, because I don't want the government looking at me jerking off.
A Band-Aid
Well,
is the article you chose.
I didn't have any electrical tape or duct tape. And
First of all, who in the
You
government
put a-
do you think wants to see you jerk off? Who specifically?
You put a Band-Aid
well, apparently you do. No.
on the eye of your computer.
Dude, I work too far.
Band-Aid?
I'm a weird dude like that.
You know Mark Zuckerberg does.
Like the only adhesive that makes you gag while eating.
That's the only one I had around. I'm taking shit for the Band-Aid. Anyway.
Is it a used Band-Aid or is it a new Band-Aid?
This is a perfect way to start.
Welcome to the Ready, Set, Blow podcast,
Can you tell-
episode 70.
Can you tell I'm part Jewish?
Of course. With
put a Band-Aid on the computer?
folks, that right there is Tamer Kattan, and we're joined also by Lev Fur.
Take off that Band-Aid and put it in your jacket.
And that's Lev Fur.
Awesome.
And they're trashing me and my fucking Band-Aid.
Yeah, man. They get
right.
Well, you guys just jerk off in front of your laptop, camera?
No, of course not. I go on chat roulette and then fire it up.
I just
You actually want the person to see you
Yeah, I
jerking
need
off.
them to see what's happening.
I zoom in.
Okay,
I put
Louis.
my eye, I put my eye up against the lens while masturbating, so they could just see the release in my eye.
Tamer, I feel like
They can see and you say, I love you.
The moment of they're like, oh.
I feel like as you come, you push your glasses up for them to watch.
I immediately
Yeah.
Urkel it out.
Urkel.
Dude, what happened to Urkel? Is he still around? Is he all right? Oh,
yeah.
I had to look at Chase
Why
right
are you
away.
looking at me
I
as
know-
a black fucking enforcer, dude?
Because I know you were also a fan of Family Matters.
No, I thought you
I
just
think,
asking me.
I would love it for the
Urkel
record if
was
you knew
murdered
exactly
in
where
Las Vegas.
Urkel was. You're like, oh, he's doing Pittsburgh.
Oh, he got
tonight.
Tupac?
Urkel was murdered in Las Vegas by P. Diddy.
You're just starting rumors now.
I heard that.
What you talk about, Willis?
Yeah, Urkel is like. I heard he's doing like a lot of like TV writing and stuff like that. Like he's
Is he?
behind the scenes producing
Huh,
stuff
I
like
didn't
that.
know.
Yeah. Yeah, he was on a show recently. He was playing a teacher on one of these like HBO. I think it was on Insecure, not Insecure. One of these shows. Like he was.
That's full circle.
You know what's crazy
Well,
about
he's made a shitload of money.
He
dude.
just went full Urkel, full circle.
Oh, wow.
He went from student to teacher.
Return.
Hey, I heard he's in a porno called Urkel Jerk.
Oh, my God.
Did you have a kid this morning? What are these dad jokes?
You give him a couple hits of weed, all of a sudden.
Dude, if those are dad jokes, then you should have been taken away from your parents by Child Protective Services.
Dude, my parents said some
Circle
crazy
jerk
shit,
is a
man.
dad joke.
Where you
What's
from?
wrong with your dad?
Where are you from, Leah?
My folks are Russian Jews, but
Oh, really?
yeah. They raised me in North Carolina, but they were all born Soviet Union. My brother, all of them.
So you're Russian?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Do you speak it?
You're
Yeah.
very good looking for a Russian dude.
Dude, you know what? I
What is
say that all the time.
For a Russian?
He's right.
No,
He's right.
I'm right, dude.
Get this though, my people aren't even Russian.
He's right.
My people, I love it. By the way, yeah, I'm right, man. But my people aren't even Russian. They're like the fucked up, like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan Russians, like those half microwaved Asian looking.
Oh, you're straight up Borat.
Yeah, that's like my people are like the Jews north of there. So.
Oh, that's interesting,
You're like
man.
the Mexicans of Russians.
yeah, pretty much.
Because if I wasn't like, if you didn't say that, I'm sure you probably got this. You probably get passed for a lot of things. I'm sure, right? Yeah. Like you look
like
Latin,
auditions,
Latin,
get passed for a lot of shit.
A lot of shit. Yeah.
He looks like Rob Lowe.
I knew you were fancy because your last name is Fur.
That's shortened.
Oh,
Yeah, how many letters are in your total name?
ferocious.
Fergie.
You can't say my last name is Fur shortened, but not say what.
Well,
the
it was
law-
Lev for you, and then Nathan took over. So it's like, oh, we gotta drop that. No.
I had my first Russian Jew that I met was a friend named Phil when I was growing up as a kid.
Yeah.
He was fucking enormous, and he took karate. And he got me into karate.
Yeah.
And he was huge. And he's like, yeah, I'm Russian and my parents are Jewish. And that's the first time.
How tall are you?
5'8" on my license, but technically 5'7".
Okay, so but what's huge to you? Is that like 5'11"? Like what ballpark are we talking?
He was like 6'2". Oh, at the time when I was
Yeah.
12, I was 5'7" when I was 12. I didn't grow at all.
He just stopped.
You stopped.
I
Going
stopped
at 12?
growing. Yeah, I had a fast growth spurt and I just stopped.
That's crazy.
I was the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Chase literally like gave up all the extra inches to the rest of his family. His brothers are really tall. All of your brothers are really tall.
All my brothers are
Even
tall.
like your younger little brother is
That's
fucking big
crazy.
too.
6'4".
Do you have a bigger dick than your brothers though?
Yeah, all inches below the waist, exactly.
Did you start chain smoking at 12?
Well, the dude, my father's like, I was told that he's like very tall. He's like 6'3", 6'4".
Wow.
So I think it all went to like everyone else besides me.
You're like
DeVito.
an Ethiopian Danny DeVito.
Eritrean, but technically
Eritrean,
Asian.
sorry.
You know how we get sensitive about
I
that,
can't
Tamer.
believe I did that. Of all the people to do that.
As an Afro-African, you know how sensitive.
No, but you were
I can't
athletic.
believe
It wasn't like you were like short and completely pathetic. You were athletic,
Thank you, Randy. I love this fucking guy.
right? I mean,
By the way,
like,
you totally dodged that your brother's dick question. It was like he just danced straight. He said it like he was answering. He was like, "Well, I'll tell you what happened."
dude, his brother's so tall. We went to the stand one night, and all they could talk about was how tall your brother was. Sitting, like they had to put him in a special seat.
Right. Yeah, it was.
like for babies?
Oh no, like on the side of the stage because his legs were just spilling out all
that's
over the
crazy.
fucking place.
Yeah. I got a brother who's my youngest brother, Sam. He's 6'4".
Goddamn.
And then I have another brother he's like average height. I think he's like 5'11".
Yeah.
Phil. Then another brother, Danny. He's like 6 feet.
Where are you in the
Those are the
lineup?
But then I have
Age?
I have a brother who's like he's not like we're not tied by the same thread, but we're family.
Right.
But he's 6'11".
Can you please tell me the names of you and all of your siblings? And I guarantee you it's on half of the lacrosse teams across America.
Yeah, Chase,
Phil, Danny.
No, well Chase, yeah, it's
These are the whitest names
No.
of any Africans.
well, you know how it is. So we have our American names and we
your
have
Eritrean
in
names.
Yeah, and you can tell they're first generation.
amazing.
And you can tell his parents are first generation because their American names are Phil, Danny, Tommy. Like very white and they're like, oh, these
I
are.
feel like your parents were like, "What should we name our kids?" And then they said, "Let's go watch polo first."
Reginald, will you please come in?
Watch a round of the PGA Tour. Let's name him.
in their defense, they were looking for the future for me.
That's smart.
You know
But
what
are
I mean?
you the oldest in your family?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it is. Here,
Yeah.
I know this. The oldest brother is always the shortest and ugliest. I'm telling you. I swear to God.
Wow.
I swear to God.
I
It-
just said you were fucking beautiful.
I
and you're
know,
gonna
but,
fucking come out
but I'm
like
the
a-
youngest brother. That's
It's
how
the
I
most
know.
Russian thing. It was the most Russian thing ever.
Compliments? Oh, I don't care.
It's like you would have a nice day, and he went, "Fuck you."
It means nothing to me. Yeah. No, but my brother is like oafy, like kind of chunky, big guy. But
That's funny. My brother is taller than me. He's a big fucking dude.
but your brother is younger.
Younger.
You
Yes.
see, as
That's
the
what I'm
more
saying.
it gets, the genetics get better.
You're on a sample set of 2. Your thesis held up.
Yeah.
I don't know if it held up in court, but it held up here.
I think he's all my brothers are better looking than me. Shit. That's
Well, that's not hard.
You're a good looking dude. You look like you know what? I just realized if you
Pump and chase up after taking him down.
I just realized if you ever compliment somebody with that tone of like if it starts in the up,
Yeah.
it's not real.
You know what? I don't fucking
Thesis
believe you're
sounds-
Russian. I don't believe he's Russian. I think he's Argentinian trying to pass for Russian.
I moved here from at 12 to. I moved to this country from North Carolina to.
Dude, you sound like my father.
What's your ethnicity? What are you?
My dad's from Dominican Republic. My
Oh, no
mom's just
shit.
white Irish from New York.
Okay.
That's a crazy combination.
That's New York for you.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
New York City for you.
Yeah.
Dominican and Irish.
You guys, and both of you guys are in New York
Off the
City.
boat, off the
now.
boat.
Both,
It feels
both of
like
you guys
somebody
are.
was walking down the street in Queens and said, "You two get married," and they're like, "Okay."
Oh yeah, yeah. It was so bizarre. I mean,
How
my
did
dad.
they meet? How did they meet?
Studio 54. My dad
No
didn't speak a word of
way.
English.
Oh,
my
my
dad didn't speak a word of
That's
English.
amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
You know
and the
what-
rumor is, sorry, mom. Rumor is that he had like hooked up with my mom's cousin to like work his way over to my mom.
Oh, that's the most
Unbelievable.
Dominican thing I ever heard.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
so
it's real
lame.
filthy, real filthy. But it worked out. I mean, I'm here. There's
Your
a
dad
positive
has
from
more game than Parker Brothers.
it. I mean, it's the only thing my dad has going for him.
That's
I've never heard of that
awesome.
working. Fuck her family first.
Listen, I saw
her family
I saw,
member?
I saw a picture of his father when he was a kid.
Yeah.
Or I think it was a picture by himself.
Yeah,
was it?
this was when my mom first met my father. So my dad was like 19 years old.
Okay, dude, it is the best. He's in a wife beater,
Gold chains.
gold chain, fucking was it bell bottom?
The polyester bell bottoms. Well, one of his legs had
Amazing.
a cast on it because he had a shotgun blast through his legs.
What?
Which the story I got was, my friend was playing with a gun and went off by accident. I was like, yeah, right, dude, in 79. Sounds like a drug deal gone wrong, Dad. Don't lie to me.
Dude, from the guy you're
Unbelievable.
describing, I'm surprised he didn't swat the bullets away with his cock. Like, that sounds like a fucking monster.
No, he had an afro. Was the best part.
Oh, he had the
silly
Spanish
afro.
fro.
I love that your parents met inside a blaxploitation film.
Pretty much. Oh, yeah. Oh, I grew up on Barry White.
I can imagine your
That's amazing.
dad's like dating advice to you is like, listen, mira, you want to be with her? You have to first. You start with first cousin.
See, I gotta learn that accent because I actually talk about my father in my act, and that would help.
Yeah.
That would certainly help.
No, you
It's harder to do your own parents' accent
It
than
is.
almost any other.
It is.
I make my mom just sound like a crazy person.
Really?
Yeah, but
His
I
mom
can't
is-
do my mom. I
But you
can't do
have
her
a-
accent.
You got an interesting past. Like your makeup too. He's Russian Jewish. Randy's biracial. And you're
Also-
biracial?
Bi-
No.
Bi-religious.
Bi-religious and biracial.
By the way, the
yeah.
quote, I'm going to make a photo of you, of your headshot, and then the quote of, I can't do my mom. Tamer Kattan. No context.
That was strawberries. Low-hanging fruit.
For the listeners out there, Tamer
true.
is another returning guest.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Tamer completely forgot about that podcast.
I'm sure he did.
He was our very first guest.
Oh, was
We
that?
were, yeah,
That's
because it was
crazy.
3 in
I
the
didn't
it
know
was
that.
3 in the morning, and we were fucked up and taped that one and put it out.
That was crazy. That was a crazy podcast.
Yeah, we got pretty.
Oh yeah, I told him it was 20 minutes of talking about being a Egyptian Jew, and then the last 20 minutes was Tamer on his soapbox talking about how much he hated
Raging
Donald
on
Trump.
Yeah.
But I was right.
But there was some.
was right.
Well,
there
yeah,
was-
he just got elected, and you were
If there was
disappointed.
an evolutionary chart of podcasts, that episode would be a hunched over guy, like eating a squirrel. It was the most animalistic podcast.
How did you guys get know each other? You guys are based in New York now,
Dude,
right?
Lev
Because you
is
just moved from LA back to
I
New York.
moved from LA back, and I met Lev is 21 and so
That's
good
right.
already,
thanks,
so
man.
mature, so good.
Mature,
I don't
yeah,
understand it.
definitely.
I don't understand it. It's
Is it because of Russian, being Russian? Is that because you guys have to grow up really quick? Is that?
Well, dude, my folks, like, they were always out of the house. Like, my dad was like 8 in the morning to 11 p.m. He was at work. He's the kind of guy when he's not at
Latchkey kid,
work.
you raised yourself, kind of a deal.
Yeah, when he's not at work, he's not happy. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys. And so for me, it was like you kind of have to raise yourself. It's a lot of time spending alone in your room figuring out what the fuck you want. And like, don't get me, when I moved to New York at 18, like I was a week after turning 18, I was saying some wild shit. You know, like I wasn't like, oh, I got this. No, it took years of just getting the shit kicked out of you by older people. And it keeps doing, like every month. I'm like, God, I was such a fucking idiot 3 weeks ago. You know? But it's like, there's shit waiting. Like as soon as I pop off, if that ever happens, there's gonna be a dick pic controversy from when I was 18. At 18, I must have sent about 2,000 dick
Well,
pics out.
that's the thing. All of us, man. Like the next president is almost certainly gonna have a sex tape. Like it's just
Yeah.
gonna be.
That's how he's gonna get elected.
That's the world we live in today. Like there's just no
Oh my
way.
God.
I feel like you have to have some type of like demise in order to be liked.
Oh well, honestly, you have to have some dirt on you. You have to have a little bit of dirt on it for
I
anybody
love
to
that
trust.
your dick had a direct mail program in the 2000s.
Dude, my dick had a mailing list in the fucking like. Seriously, I'd get on Snapchat.
Why? I can't believe. Like, do guys your age think that shit works? It's just sending a photo of your dick.
They ask for it.
Oh, these are girls you're already seeing.
I'm not saying it like.
Oh, you mean because of what they were wearing?
No, I'm not. I'm not like cold calling. No, yeah, I know. You said it like I was like, bro. She was wearing a
She
bra.
was asking-
Okay,
She was asking for it.
Yeah.
She was wearing a pantsuit.
No, you'll like talk to a girl on Tinder. You'll be like, "Hey, add me on Snapchat." She starts sending her tits. You send a dick pic. But it got so bad for
That
me.
is the currency exchange.
Yeah.
That's how it starts.
No.
Well, listen, we don't have a lot of other kinds of
Right.
currency.
I don't. That's why I don't show the
That's
dick pic.
all we have is a penis.
If you go through my camera roll, there's about 20 to 30 photos of me holding my dick through my boxers in different angles. Because that's when she sends tits, you send that. It's like, but me with Snapchat, it got so bad to where I was like, it's like all these girls from Tinder or like girls I knew, and like we would be sexting. And I was at one point managing 8 sexting conversations at once.
What the
and they're all sending me, and they're all at different stages. So like
you
one
put
of them,
the juggle in gigolo.
yeah. So one girl would be like, "Here's my pierced nipple." The other girl's like, "Here's my spread ass," and I'm trying to remember where
Wait.
I'm at.
At what point during these conversations are you actually fucking these chicks, dude? Because it sounds like you.
In the last year, I have fucked 2 people.
That's the problem. That's a part of the problem.
I know,
Like,
but you
there's
know-
so much like fake sex going on Snapchat,
Yeah.
and not enough real fucking going on.
But you know what the thing for me is?
It's a lot of marinating, but not enough barbecue.
There we go. There we go. There we go. I knew
It sounds
Tamer-
like something your dad would have walked in on and
knew
yelled
Tamer
at you
would nail
for.
that.
There's a lot of marinating going on, and I don't smell any meat.
Enough
Tamer.
barbecuing.
Yeah, that's what you should say when you catch your son masturbating. You're like, there's a whole lot of marinating going on here. No, but what I love about the sexting is it's the closest you can get to sex without having to leave your house and go meet somebody.
Oh well, it's the approval. I mean, it's the the gratification
Yeah.
of
It's
if
the
she
window
wants
shopping of sex.
She's so into me, she'll send me X, and I can send her Y,
But it's
and
not
she
even
wants
that.
Y.
It's like I'm gonna jerk off anyways. So why not see real tits that I'm connected to in the meantime?
yeah, that
it's-
makes it hotter. I
You know,
see.
it's the hipster of porning, right?
Porning?
Because we went
Is
from
it like a
hipsters are
verb?
like, I don't want a Starbucks. I want a quaint coffee shop that's owned by a lady named Marge, who's a single mom and she's
I see.
sassy.
It's
and
the vinyl of porn
yeah.
kind of
So then
deal.
with sex now, we're like, we don't want regular porn. I want like a chick who's having trouble paying her bills and really goes to school, but she's a good person. Her dad was a pastor, so she's like, I'll show you a boob, but only through the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Because Jesus didn't say anything about online.
Have you heard about those guys? Have you heard about those guys that go out there and have like?
She sounds like my dream girl right there.
Exactly.
right? It's crafty.
There are
The
guys-
new porn. It's crafty.
It's artistic.
It's artisanal.
There are guys out there doing like who get off now on like it's like an S&M theme where guys get like extorted. They'll give a girl like the keys to their house, their wife's phone number, all their bank account information, and then the woman like and this girl they don't know on the internet will like threaten to like start stealing and shit and like fuck with them. This is a whole genre that's going on out there.
Yo.
Can you believe this shit?
I believe any guy, if that is your
I
fantasy,
do wanna
it's
see
because
proof
that's
of that,
what you
though.
do.
That is dark.
I do want to see
That's
proof of
dark.
that though, because that does sound like a Breitbart headline.
No, it's just 100% true. People, there's like women have been like, was it Joe Rogan had one of these women on his pocket, or maybe Ari Shaffir had like a woman who extorts guys over the internet for money.
That's crazy. It's such a bizarre, such a specific kink. that
Yeah, how do you get to that? What's the
you have
progress to that?
It makes you want to unpack it.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
know?
How do you get that far? Because you don't just wake up and say, "Hey, I
I'd
want."
imagine it must be. It's a case of the bullied becoming the bullies.
It is
right?
a lot of lawyers and
Like-
doctors and
or maybe it's
powerful men.
Maybe it's the reverse of
Yeah.
that. Like we always hear about the bullied becoming bullies, but is there a case for the bullies wanting to become
Of course,
bullied?
to be dominated.
Yeah. You see it. It happens with women. You hear a lot of CEO women like to be dominated after being the dominator.
Yeah.
Oh well, the most common fantasy for women is obviously tough to admit, but it's
primal, yeah.
The mock
To
rape
be
fantasy.
dominated. Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking with me sexually, if a girl shows even
Back to Lev.
Yeah. No, I'm saying if the girl shows any sign of dominance, I'm out. I just can't do
Really?
it. Yeah,
You
I'm
wanna
out.
be-
To be
I love when a chick dominates.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hooked up with a girl. She became a really good friend of mine after because we were like, we can't have sex. She would throw me down on the bed, like push my chest down, and then my dick, same thing, just straight down.
Huh.
I can't do
I
it.
like it.
So tell me about your mom. No.
This is. I have a question, Lev,
Of course.
and I've been
yes.
thinking about this since you said it.
Let's open up the floor.
How did you get a girl to spread her ass on Tinder? Because I never.
Oh, on Snapchat?
Yeah.
On Tinder?
Oh my god.
There, you want to break down the whole process?
No, I just no.
I mean, yeah.
no. It just. That's a.
I didn't realize this was an instructional podcast.
If a
Yeah,
girl,
Chase gets right into it.
if a girl is into you,
She'll do anything pretty much.
yeah, but it's.
Okay.
I mean, but also it's not like
You told me I was ugly, so I don't have those opportunities.
But you also have like you could be like a Donnell Rawlings brother vibe to you. So like you might be able to get star pussy. You know what I mean? So, but no, it's like if a girl, and I'm not saying like, oh, women are dumb. You can make anything. I'm saying like if a girl wants to, like
She'll-
I've
right.
had had exes and stuff will send me videos of them like fingering their ass because I just asked for it. I'm like, but that's the thing. Don't ask for it.
How do you ask?
You don't ask for it. I have to correct it. You
Excuse
go.
me. How was your day?
Here's
Good.
the-
Mine too. Put your finger in
Yeah.
the asshole. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. What's the progression?
It's a build up, and it's you. Everything has to be said like, do it.
You know what though, Lev? I'm gonna be honest
Oh,
with you.
interesting.
Because you're kind of
Oh,
like
it's 50 Shades of Grayish. Did you hear what he just
Yeah,
said?
you say. Here's
With
here's what-
authority.
Yeah, you go. I want you to spread your lips, and she goes, "Oh, do you?" And you go now,
And then she
that's
just
it.
opens up her butthole
If
for
you
you.
go, hey, I'd love to see you spread. Or can you please? It's done. That's it. The conversation's over. At least with the women I've interacted.
I like being aggressive and polite.
Can I hang out with you? Can I come to New
No,
York?
listen. You have to say, "I'm going to hang out with you."
This
That's
has
it.
officially
Don't
become
ask.
the gayest podcast I've ever
Dude,
been.
my left nipple's getting hard right now. Fucking Lev is just getting me fucking.
Why just the left one?
I don't know.
Because it's liberal.
I'm a very passive person.
The right nipple is like, you're a slut to the left nipple.
The right nipple just pulled its sweater over. Like,
So you want to? Well, obviously we know Tamer obviously and his history briefly. So when did you decide to go to New York at 21? Like when the fuck did you decide to do that shit?
Right when I was 17, I told my dad, I was like, I'm thinking of moving to New York to do comedy. And he was like, don't even fucking think about it.
Sounds like the beginning of a porn.
Yeah.
You'll never
Go
control
to New
me,
York to
father.
get assholes.
Time to go to the big city.
So you just found a room. You just fucking said, I'm going to become a comic. I'm going to go to New York and live the dream.
Yeah, and that's where I met Tamer, and we've been together ever since.
Nice.
As life partners.
Yeah.
Tamer's cool. I met Tamer and I met you at when we did
cult.
when you did the World Series of Comedy.
Is that where we
No,
met?
I'm sorry.
You just won, and
You,
you were opening or featuring
Oh,
for
I was featuring
Adam.
for Adam Ray.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It's the
That was
Dana
couple-
Carvey weekend.
It's 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, there was. Dana Carvey was there.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
ended up doing an extra long set because Adam was stuck at the theater. Wilbur?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wilbur. It was his Netflix special, and Adam got stuck at the theater bringing Dana back, so I ended up doing a long set.
Cool.
I think it was 2 years ago next week, actually.
Yeah, you're right.
2 years ago next week was when we
2
met.
years ago, this
God.
coming up next
It was
week.
right after St. Patty's Day. Yeah.
That's right.
Wow.
And I remember because it was my comedy anniversary, St. Patrick's Day.
Oh,
It's a
nice.
very chaotic anniversary.
Ironically, he's back. Wow, that's interesting. He's
And
back
he's
here
back next
again.
week. Adam.
It's funny because St. Patrick's Day is my anniversary is something a lot of couples from South Boston could say.
Exactly right. Yeah. That's what a lot of fucking. That's what a lot of kids were conceived.
Yeah. I gotta say, isn't Tamer one of the most just professional fucking comics you ever met? Just in the way he
that's nice.
moves and like interacts with people. It's
Thanks,
like
man.
crazy to me
That's
watching.
why we
that.
fucked with
Tamer, yeah, Tamer is like, yeah,
Thanks,
definitely, and I think he has just a genuality about him.
Genuality. I like
That's
that.
my word.
He just
It's
made
a
that
new
up.
cologne.
See, you start dropping words like that around bitches, like, yo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Every week.
You gotta just walk up to
that
a
uh,
girl and be like, baby, I love your genuality.
I like that smell.
Mind
oh,
freaker.
it's genuality.
No, like,
By Chase.
because you said like you met him after he won World Series of Comedy. It's like I guarantee when he won that, and you asked what's that like, he just pushed up his glasses like, oh, it's really great, man. It's nice. It's nice to be there.
No, he definitely when I met him, like, and I'm sure we know tons of these type of people where like, depending on where they are in their careers or whatever, it's like. They can be, very like standoffish or whatever.
Right.
He's always been a cool motherfucker, dude.
Well, he's
you know what I
a
mean?
happy
Like,
guy.
Well, thanks, man. It's because I'm lonely.
he always texts.
And that's why I look up to the motherfucker so much.
Well, he always like, he'll send you a text. I always base it off of texting. It's weird. So if I text someone and if they don't text back, then I'm like, all right, okay.
Yeah.
But if I text you and then you text me right back, then I'm like, okay.
In terms of what professionalism, kind of the responsiveness.
I think it's just being a good human.
Yeah.
Forgot about like the fucking comedy
That's
shit.
what
Wow,
it
that
is.
just
You know
means
what I'm
that just
saying?
confirms I'm a piece of shit.
You know what I mean? Fuck comedy.
First
like,
of all,
it's
it's
being a good
pronounced,
person.
it's pronounced sexting.
Every single time he texts
agree
him,
with you
I
on
want to
your-
see your asshole. Tamer gets back.
Just dick pics all
Immediately.
day.
No, he'll say,
You gotta earn it, honey.
Yeah, I text back and I say it more assertively.
dude, man, like you meet people here in this business, they're just like, I'll get to you whenever, whatever.
Right.
Like,
No, but it's also like you said, the positivity.
Positivity,
He's a
Oh, thanks. You
know.
That's nice.
happy-go-lucky guy, and I mean we were talking about
I
it.
feel like I'm about to be punked right now.
No,
and I fuck with my Africans, so that's like I
fellow Africans,
so,
Northern African.
even if Tamer like slapped someone in the street, I'd be like, oh, he's African.
I couldn't imagine Tamer slapping someone in the street.
People are like, I can't believe you're African. You're so light skinned. Africa has mountains.
Yeah, how do we get? How do you?
It feels like lighter skinned people are on the tops of mountains, right?
Of course they are, dude. The closer.
That was one. No.
So yeah, it's white people. They're the only ones going up the top of a fucking mountain.
Yeah, well, there's
You don't see black guys running up to the top of Everest.
It's weird. You think mountain is closer to the sun, so you'd be darker.
Yeah, but there's less of it.
Yeah, that's true. It's very confusing.
Yeah, what would it take to get you
Race
mad?
is a tough-
What actually gets you mad?
I've seen him mad before. It's rare. It's very rare.
Like anger.
What
Like
makes me
anger.
mad?
Yeah, like anger.
Yeah.
Like, and what makes you mad enough to actually hit someone, to get violent?
Well, I don't see Tamer as that type of person.
Well,
I'm sure Tamer can fucking knock a motherfucker
Oh, I'm
out.
sure. Oh,
I once saw. Well,
Take it. Yeah.
I once saw a mom breastfeeding a baby, and I fucking punched her in the face so hard. That's good reason. I'm like, not in my country, whore.
Look, we've all been there. We've,
I'm totally kidding.
I think it was
I
not.
love breastfeeding.
I love it.
I love breastfeeding.
Breastfeeding
yourself?
It's the freshest way to do it.
I thought it was because she was using her right nipple instead of her left nipple.
The soft one. She hit him with the soft one.
I'm like, what is this, Australia? Use your right tit, you queen. It's upside down.
So do you consider yourself a New Yorker now?
I like what Socrates said. He said, I'm neither a Greek or an Athenian. I'm a citizen of the world. And I feel like that. I feel like I'm an official citizen of the world. I love New York. It's a part of me, but it doesn't define me. Yeah, but I love New York. And I feel like New York has changed me faster than any other city.
Yeah. I will say that's
sure.
That's beautiful, but I also feel like citizen of the world is something like a Long Island girl would have tattooed on her back.
Yeah, you're right.
It
is a tramp stamp. That's a good. You nailed that.
Live, love, laugh. Fuck it.
Just as you're fucking her, she's like, "What are you, a citizen of the world?" I've only been to Boston, but
I'm living my best life.
It's the first time I've had an assist in making me feel worse about myself. I'm like, that was like a layup.
Well, dude,
or
I'm
an
like
alley-oop.
I feel like I'm the only guy who breaks your balls out of like your very your close friends.
Yeah, no, I like it in my balls broken.
Yeah,
As
in the
does
Tinder
our
bio.
president.
Well, that's a big New York thing.
As does our president.
Right.
The difference is I don't need someone to have high heels on when they do it to me.
Stomp on them.
Hello.
Hello.
He's a perv.
Oh wow, that was pretty good.
Hello.
You two, do you ever get into voice acting?
No, not yet. But it's something I've thought about. I think I need to start doing it. It's a good revenue stream for comics. I think.
Yeah.
And I think it's taken me this long where now I'm getting into a level of comfort in my comedy that I've started becoming more comfortable in using voices that I maybe would only use in like in private, like the closest of friends where I get really silly. I think it's the comedic equivalent of showing your belly. Like when an animal shows you its belly, it's like going, "I'm not afraid of you.
Not judged. I'm not getting judged. Right.
Yeah, I feel safe with you."
Right.
I think a comedian can do that. Comedian can show their belly. It's the bravest of acts, but it's also the most confident of acts. And it's taken me this long to feel comfortable doing it.
Okay.
I feel like that's one of the cool things about comedy, though, in that, like it's one of those things where you can keep. I feel like you're never gonna be done. Like
Exactly.
you could just keep trying to add
it's
tools
alive.
to the toolkit.
Yeah.
You know, like doing voices or more act outs or any number of things. You know, we were talking about is it Jen Kirkman or Jess Kirkman at the Patrice O'Neill benefit show?
Jessica Kirsten.
Kirsten. Sorry,
She's amazing.
amazing. But like doing like multiple roles on stage.
Yeah.
So it's like a one man show almost.
She's
it's fucking
so impressive. Yeah.
That's kind of cool. It's the kind of thing like it would take me years to even get to the point where I'd even attempt to try that, like you said.
And she's got such an original voice, such a unique voice. I hope to God there is something being worked on with her, that she's working on something coming out soon, because I think she's peaking right now. When I watch her, I feel like I'm watching Michael Jordan play basketball.
She crushed so hard at the Patrice show.
I bet she
so
did.
hard.
She's great. She's just so good.
Standing ovation.
Yeah, I bet she's great. I'm such a fan of hers.
I could see her like. I'm sorry. I could just see her like. Obviously, her stand-up is great, but I could also picture her as a great character on a show, even like on a show like Curb.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Seeing her do those characters
She's
like that
so
is
good.
crazy.
You know what I mean?
But I think she might be in this situation where she's an in-betweener, where she's like so good, like a girl who's really pretty saying, "No one asked me to prom." Like she's so good that people
What do
might
you
not
do?
be asking her for these smaller roles because they know she's worthy of having her own, which is ridiculous. It's silly. It is absurd as the hottest girl in school staying home during prom.
Yeah.
You know, but there might be like a psychologically that kind of a dynamic.
Jessica,
with her.
call in.
She's
Let's
so
talk
good.
about it.
Yeah, we're taking callers.
Yeah.
No, it's just funny because like after the show, like we were in New York for a couple of days and hanging out with other comics in New York, and a couple comics asked when we told them we'd gone to the benefit show, the first thing they asked were, I won't say which comics, but like, you know,
Awesome.
how'd she
It
do?
was- it was awesome.
because they know she's kind of hot, like really hitting her stride.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like in New York, like if you run a show, for example, it's like she's one of those people that if she can make it to drop in, you are like stoked. You're like you're honored that you're like, oh, she's
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know what I was just thinking of is like if podcasts had filters the way Instagram does, the sound of a beer can opening would be called the bro filter.
Just cracked open a cold one.
They should have audio filters, like Instagram filters. That'd be done. And you'd have like different background
God.
noises.
Just one more reason for women to not build a fucking personality.
Like if you had if you had a New Jersey filter, it'd just be the sound of clanking weights in a laundry machine.
It'd be the sound of that chain dangling on your neck. What is? Do you have like a little boxing glove on your neck?
a boxing glove.
But the thing you were saying about comedy is also what guys like him and what all of us love about stand-up and things like boxing and like music, learning an instrument. There's no finishing it.
There's no there.
Yeah,
There's no there.
It's a moving
Yeah,
thing.
you just keep getting better, and you have to keep working on it. And,
Yeah.
like, there's always something you can improve in the
Yeah.
set or in the act. You know, that's like that. And I think because if you look at it, what's one thing that you love doing that has a finish to it? There's no hobby.
It's
that you
true.
Enjoy.
It's the it is cliche saying this, but we are in the birthplace of America, arguably. So it is nice to say it in Boston.
No, for sure. And
The
how long you been doing it?
pursuit.
I've been doing it for almost 4 years now.
Yeah, so I'm by far the junior comic in the room, which is awesome, not being the junior person in the room.
But you're the strongest one, Billy. You
well-
don't want to tell you anything
Says
else.
fucking who?
I know, right? We were joking about it. He's like, yeah,
Stroking your
I
nipples,
started
you
young,
know.
but I get to hang out with older. Lev was saying, I get to start, but I hang out with older comics because I'm just so young or whatever. I'm like, yeah, but you're all mentally the same fucking age. I'm like,
Yeah.
look at this room. All three of us are
And I get
separated
to
by
hang
10
out
years
with a bunch
apiece,
of-
and we're all basically mentally in the same
Yeah, it's so
maturity
weird.
level.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually the great thing about comedy. It's like no
It
matter
transcends.
the transcends.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to a degree how old you are.
Yeah.
You know, we can talk with a 21-year-old. You're in your 40s.
Yeah.
I'm in we're in our 30s, but we're all brought together by one
Jesus
one great
Christ,
thing.
we are literally 3 decades.
All three
That's
of
crazy.
us spaced out pretty much evenly.
Bizarro world. If I was a
Yeah, what were you like at 22, 21?
Yeah, what were you like at
dude,
21?
I was insane.
He was in a box. He was a fitness thing.
I was
you in college?
I played college rugby. And
Oh,
then,
you
and
did?
then I
I
became
did
a
too.
bodybuilder and then a boxer. I was just like a human
much-
SUV.
Where'd you play rugby? I played rugby in
Cal
college.
Poly Pomona.
Oh, that's fucking for real. That's
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good guy.
I almost broke I was insane.
Wow.
My girlfriend at the time told me, she's like, I can't watch you play rugby anymore because it scares me. And then I went out and I bought Bugs Bunny socks at this sock store. All my socks became like cartoon Hanna-Barbera socks.
It was like your
and
calling
then she
card?
could watch me because she just see this bald guy like picking up Samoans and dropping them.
What did you weigh back then when you were?
When I was playing rugby, I weighed 190, but I was benching like 400 pounds.
Jesus
I was
Christ.
freaky strong. But I had a lot of anger. I had anger management issues, and I took them out on the weights. Or I used
positive way-
weights
a positive
in
way
a
to do it.
positive way. Yeah, but I had so much aggression.
Egypt
Wait,
also has
were
a
you
long history of
bald then?
powerlifters too. Egypt
I
has
was
a lot of
bald then,
powerlifters.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Rugby, I was in the bottom of a pile of guys, and a guy. That's the way to get back. And he
Scrum.
pulled my hair. And then I had a bald spot. It was so big that I ended up shaving my
Yeesh.
head.
Oh,
and then
wow.
everybody was like, "You look good with a shaved head." This is way before it was like fashionable.
Right.
And then it was just my look. You know? like a young Telly Savalas.
What a cunt. The
young,
guy that
dark-
pulled your fucking hair.
Yeah, dude.
That's
he pulled
unbelievable.
My hair.
That's
I
how-
had curly hair.
But that's how it goes at the bottom of a scrum.
Yeah, it was gnarly. Rugby's a gnarly sport.
How much does the comp be like being competitive? Were you competitive?
You
Or,
know what
I
it
mean?
was is that I didn't believe in therapy. I didn't believe that you could get better, and I lived with nightmares.
Yeah.
And I didn't talk to anybody about it. And I was very much of the generation where boys don't cry.
Yeah, me too.
So it was just like I held everything in, and then in certain places it would leak out because it wasn't a sealed Tupperware bowl. There was hinges that were cracked. So when you turn my bowl to a certain side, I leaked.
Yeah.
And I'd go into these therapy sessions. I had this joke where I said I was in a therapy session, and my therapist looked at me and went, "Wow, that's fucked up." And I'm like, what? I'm like, are you supposed to say that?
Right.
Like that'd be the equivalent of a doctor, like your a doctor pulling down your pants and going, ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're
Yeah.
not supposed to show emotion.
My doctor does
And
that.
I was like, oh shit.
Ooh, that's what you
It's
get,
rough.
right?
Yeah,
Whoa.
it's rough. But then you get legitimized and you start to feel human again, and you go, yeah, that was a part of my past. I'm a human being. I don't know what it is about sharing, but it's the most human of things, right? Like we're pack animals. Like when you yawn, I'll yawn because we're pack animals. If there's a group of people laughing, you'll start laughing, and then after you'll ask what's so funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like we are wired to be pack animals.
Hardwired.
Yeah, so there's something about the feeling of community that's like really powerful.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Dude, hardwired is a good word to come out of your face. You have the look of a guy who
I have a lot of hardwired problems.
Yeah. No, you have the look of the guy in the movie where like it's military themed and the guy is
Dude,
like,
I just got that.
we got to take care of the bomb. He's like, it's hardwired.
I've never even got close to being in the military. I just got that shit. When I was having grabbing drinks with Kyle Plouffe and Jordan and Justin. Jordan Hadron, a friend of ours, another comedian. Shout out to Jordan. He was like, dude. He's like, so what was it like in the military? I'm like, I've never been in the fucking.
Dude, you look like you train trainers.
He's like, your general demeanor. I would have assumed you had done some time of that sort. I'm like, what?
You look like you once got in a fist fight underwater. You were in a situation where you had to fist fight underwater.
Yeah, so we got 3 fucking great looking guys in here, you know?
Oh my god! So these
No,
balls.
Lev can make jokes because Lev's the prettiest one and he knows that.
Well, the thing
Lev's
is,
so pretty. If we go out, he's just gonna stand next to me. I'm gonna tell him, don't say a fucking word. Just come, follow me.
Here's the thing, though.
Bring him in like honey, and I'll do the
I've
talking.
been enjoying this for 1 year. That's the thing is, I used to be 300 fucking pounds as a kid. I was huge.
How'd you lose all the weight? Good for you, man.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
well, it's still a mess under here, but it's like hidden. But it's like now I'm like, okay, I'll have a good 3 years where I look all right, and
That's
then
awesome. How'd you do that, man? That's good
just
for you, man.
fucking. I learned, dude. New Year's night, I must have been like 15 or 16. Didn't get invited to any parties. Sitting at home in high school, and my one ride was like, yeah, we'll come hang out. Just text me. He's like, I'm not coming. So, dude, and I went to my resort, which is always I ordered 2 Domino's pizzas and a thing of chicken, and I just ate it all.
The usual friends, yeah.
I did not leave a bite left. Ate all of it. Sure. Drank the ranch cups. Like whatever.
Oh, God.
And then I was like, oh fuck. And I stepped on the scale and it was like 288 pounds. And I was like, this is insane. And that night I started watching these like YouTube, like, you gotta start tomorrow.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that,
just
you know
getting
what I mean?
all the jacked up,
And it
gurus.
worked. Yeah, and I was like, okay, I just can't do this anymore. And I started losing weight. And
Good
then,
for
like,
you, man. That's awesome. That's fucking great.
dude, the fat guy. Like, I realized when you're like a fat guy, it affects everything that you do, every moment of your life.
Yeah.
I've been through I've been through 2 fats, I think.
Wow.
But did you have like literally before you get up out of a chair, you like have I would have a side swipe
routine?
of how I got out of the chair
Oh my
because there
God.
would be a streak mark
Dude,
of
do you
sweat.
talk about this?
Nah, I'm thinking about it, but
he's working up to it.
Interesting.
yeah, no, there would be
That response is a perfect reason to
right.
talk
Well, no,
about
I've talked about it before, but back then it was just I wasn't
but not
funny.
really.
Yeah,
You
I wasn't
didn't really
funny.
talk about
So
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like literally before I get in a chair, like I know there'd be a sweat puddle. So to make sure nobody would go, who left a
tough.
fucking reservoir here? I would do a special.
Dude,
That's funny.
The specificity of
Yeah.
that is so human.
Yeah.
There's a Stanislavski, the great acting coach, once said, "That which is most personal is most universal."
Right.
Yeah.
And something that specific, for a second, would feel like it's so specific and no one could relate.
Right.
But it's so human
Yeah,
that
if you can find a way to
everybody
make it
could
funny.
relate to feeling that.
Right.
Feeling
Yeah.
something like that.
No, dude, being
That's
my
amazing.
whole childhood, I would say, was described as constantly going to the bathroom just to wipe my ass to get the sweat out.
Yeah.
The old confidence wipe.
Yeah, just that's it. The old security check.
Yeah.
And there's never shit, but it's always like, I have a wet hand now, you know?
Just worried about your belt's just digging into your lower stomach.
Yeah.
It's like
dude,
your
that's
asshole
crazy.
was Trump's forehead every time somebody mentions the Russian investigations.
Yeah, I just didn't have porn stars eating mine out.
Just sweating.
I feel you, man. Like this is the heaviest I've been in all my life.
Well, but you're like not over 450. It's like,
No, not even.
Yeah, I'm
No. No, but I'm definitely like a lot heavier and fatter than.
James was like a super competitive athlete in college.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I played
Why
all.
is this your heaviest?
I think it's because comedy and my fucking night job that I have.
He works overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
but
are
the
tough
thing about
hours.
you, man, is you look good heavy. No, like you really like. Doesn't he look so? You look like you
just
look like
fuck
the
him and get it
most
over
chill
with.
guy in here. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
you just have this demeanor of like, man, I'm supposed to be fat. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
if you were in shape, it's something about you would bother me. Like I wouldn't trust you if you were like jacked.
If I was jacked?
yeah, I wouldn't trust you.
So that's why fucking okay. This is
That's
great.
why I should say fat.
That's
What?
why.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Only an ex-fat guy could have this conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's like, it's our word, Tamer.
Oh, dude, oh my god.
Dude, I was like fucking. I played like collegiate, like I always was in shape. Never fucking smoked cigarettes. Never like smoked anything.
But
Never-
how old
never-
are you right now?
I'll be 37 tomorrow.
Happy
My
birthday, Chase.
worst shape I've ever been in was my late 30s.
My worst shape was fucking your age. Like,
So yeah.
Isn't that weird? Isn't
Yeah.
that weird? Like I'm in better shape now than I was through all of my 30s.
When- was that when you were leaving your job and starting to pursue your passion though?
No, it was right after.
Okay,
That's interesting. I started getting in shape when I started pursuing.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, see.
Once
But
you-
the first couple years,
it's a whole package deal. Same thing happened with me. I left
first-
New York and got happy and,
Interesting.
and lost the weight.
Wow, yeah. That's
Are you
interesting.
guys like inner fat people though? Like, do you have?
Oh,
that,
yeah,
like,
Yeah, I always was
Oh,
chubby
yeah,
like,
hell
when I
yeah.
was
I'm
like a
hungry as
baby
fuck.
and shit. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I
yeah.
go to bed at night, like, and I'm like, okay, what am I gonna get from Burger King tomorrow?
Oh,
God,
dude, no.
I get
You're
excited.
talking about how good a shape I'm in, dude. I just try to work out. I just have to keep my stomach a little bit less fat than my upper body. It's a ratio thing. It's
really
it's all
fun.
smoke and mirrors. I work out so I can eat, a whole pizza
Right.
and fucking ice cream at night.
And you
You know
know,
that-
and you know what, Lev? When I'm fucking really skinny, I'm really fucking sexy.
All right.
Oh, here we
why are you trying to pitch it to me?
Wow.
I don't know.
I love to think you said that to like a Tinder
You
date.
guys have both been hitting on each other all episode.
I feel like I just reached the cable channel in Latin America, like the gay soap opera.
I know we're all fucking.
Oh, but you were saying like gives, dude. I was telling Tamer last night when we all split up. I was walking home, and I just saw these people running into this bar on Cambridge Street, and it was this place.
Cambridge.
Yeah, whatever. So I walked in.
It's not an auto part.
And I just sat down. I ordered a beer, sat down by myself in a room where everybody's dancing.
Sure.
And I was like, okay, I'm alone. I'm just gonna Don Draper it. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna look like I'm thinking about shit.
Right.
Wasn't thinking about anything. I was just thinking about how stupid I look. And then, sure enough, within 4 minutes,
A girl came up.
2 Asian girls walked up
Fucking knew
and
it.
said, "Are you?"
Fucking.
I know.
Asian.
You know what happens to me when I sit alone at a bar?
They call the cops.
I get lonely. Yeah, exactly. I get
something, say something.
I get more lonely, or I call the cops.
yeah.
Oh my god, what is that a flyer from?
Oh,
Is
you know-
that Chase?
Oh yeah.
Dude, you're Skinny Bones Jones.
I'm trying to find.
see it.
What was your college sport?
Oh, I play basketball.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
He was on the lacrosse team. What the fuck do you think he was?
I don't know why I assumed you
His
were a
name
football
is
guy.
Chase. How am I supposed to know?
Good point. Fair.
Yeah, I play basketball. I always play basketball. I was a triathlete, but in college I played
Oh
in
my
college.
god.
I mean, isn't that just magic?
That
Isn't
is
that
a-
just magic?
that is an
God,
amazing
dude. I wish
photo.
the listeners could hear.
Dude, who made that
Oh,
flyer?
we sent that out.
Because I feel like you guys asked
Dude,
a
and
black
that-
club to make the flyer.
Dude, and that
Actually,
photo,
a white club.
in that photo, you look like Akon's first promoter.
Yeah.
That's like,
I said he looks like CeeLo Green before CeeLo got too fat.
If
Yeah.
that flyer was a person, it would be a DJ at a nightclub called Sapphire.
Yes, Sapphire. Yeah, he's the manager of Sapphire. Absolutely right.
Let me ask you a question. Though.
Absolutely
If you were my boy though, and I was like, yo, and I sent you that flyer, you would be like, yo, this party's gonna be popping, right?
I'd be like, yo, if this flyer was.
I would think that party would have a
going
bringer
to this party no
requirement.
matter what.
I'd be like, if this flyer.
You need to bring 6.
And they better be bitches.
If this flyer was an article of clothing, it'd be a white tuxedo.
Yes.
Okay.
You see, I don't trust that guy.
I want Tamer and I want Lev to fucking explain what I'm wearing, just to kind of give a picture.
Oh, yeah. You're wearing a Donald Trump T-shirt, or Donald Trump button-down with the white collar and the blue shirt. I don't even know where you got that.
You're wearing Miami.
You're
You have a dress shirt made of Cuba, a jacket made out of fat asses,
tie.
and sunglasses made out of Art Deco buildings.
in a pocket square. How dare you?
It's
Honestly,
actually a
How dare
nice
you.
suit. The accessories are what puts it over the top.
And those aren't even like aviator shades. Those are airplane hanger
Yeah.
shades. humongous.
Dude, those are Jodeci shades. Those are like.
You look like you hope those shades would cover your baldness.
Okay.
Like, that's how big they are.
That was amazing.
Thank you. That's the look I was going for. Technically,
That was
They have like a top
It
to
looks
them.
like your suit is made out of Miami.
I don't know how, but I feel like I could see your nipple through your suit.
well, the pockets.
Sorry, Chase. I had to do that. I had to pull it up. It's your birthday, son.
The pocket square is on the left side where the nipple's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So that's what.
The nipple.
The left nipple, the crazy one.
The crazy.
But back then, this was 2012. Like this is like 2011 or
Was
something.
that before or after 9/11?
Everything in our life happened after 9/11, dude.
Oh, everything. Yeah.
I like to just throw that question at people. Was that before or after 9/11? Like
Right.
randomly.
But I was just having fun, I was just like, I had, knew some promoters.
You look cool.
I was just like promoter. I wanted to like just sometimes I believe like
I wonder how the party went off.
I
What
wanted
were you promoting?
Himself.
my like it was my birthday, and I
Yeah.
just was like, you know what? I'm actually this is the real honest truth.
I love that
threw
you have,
two
I love
hands
that
up
you
in the
have,
air for the
you have a category of truth.
This is the honest truth, right? You were saying like you were at the bar yesterday, and you
Yeah.
went to and you were sitting alone and whatever, and you were saying same thing, like you sit alone sometimes at a bar. There was a moment in time where like when I left my job, like I had a job, and then like I was like alone, like no friends, like not even family, like I was just like, and I started doing comedy, and you guys know like when you start doing comedy, like all that shit fucking disappears to a degree,
yeah.
to a degree. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
things
you're
stop.
right.
You don't talk to
Yeah.
nobody
You're
else.
only fucking.
You're so right. We get so. It's almost like when you stop drinking milk. When you start drinking milk, you start to fart because you lose the lactase enzyme.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what happens to us with social skills.
Yeah.
Like now, when I talk to girls, I fart.
Yeah.
Well, I do that all the time. Chase knows about that.
I've lost socialase, the
Yeah.
social enzyme.
I had like and then all
She's like, did you just fart? He's like, I haven't done this in a while. I haven't done this in a while.
and it's just for a moment, like I just everybody, like all my cousins and stuff and family, like who I grew up with, they moved to different states. I didn't really have any of my friends anymore.
Right, yeah.
I was really like alone. I had a couple people that was around. I just like, you know what? I want to throw a party for me and for people who want to come.
Yeah.
And then it sounds
right.
fucking corny, but I put a flyer together.
No, I like it.
And just said I'll pay for everything, and everyone just come.
That's crazy.
It's like tonight, like at the show, like we're gonna go to like down the bar, Beacon Street,
totally-
and I'll just like we'll just get like
Throw
a
the card
keg,
down and
and we'll just get and have I'm like, for me, like I never really had that people do it for me.
Yeah.
Right.
I like doing it for. I like to be the host. I like to have people have fun.
That's
Giver.
nice.
Chase the giver.
Yeah.
You
That's
guess.
a very Eritrean characteristic,
So it
by
comes-
the way.
Is it really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I was
I'm
thinking the
Egyptian.
same
I
thing.
know Eritreans,
Right.
and that's what they're awesome hosts.
Hosts.
They're always like culturally.
It's part of being a
as
man
hosts.
is knowing how to fucking host.
I agree.
On
I feel
stage
like
and off.
it's almost a
Oh,
lost
yeah.
art.
Okay. What do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean?
It's like, okay, I was at like I remember like at a day job I had, there was a guy. He was my boss, and we had to open a bottle of wine for a table. And he said, "Can you open this? I don't know how to do it." And the guy was married and had like fucking kids. And I was like, "You're married? You don't know how to open a bottle of wine?" I was like, a grown man taught me that when I was 18. And he's like, dude, literally the first job I had in New York was the guy I met got me into underground poker games. He like really looked out for me. He was like
awesome.
a real OG
Right.
dude, bro. He
Right.
grew up in Israel. He like from the time he was 12, his parents were gone.
Sure.
They ran a fucking brothel in Israel just to survive. That's
Wow.
what him and his brother did.
Wow.
So
Some real shit.
yeah. So he like mentored me. He was like, he said, "Listen, kid, you moved here to do comedy. Don't give a shit about this job. Come in whenever you want." But in the meantime, he was like, "You got to know how to open a fucking bottle of wine." It's like you're gonna be a grown man. If you can't open a bottle of wine, what good are you? What use are you at that point?
see.
So it's
Yeah.
like that's the same thing for me as like hosting. You got to know.
Use are you? Like
Yeah.
a man who can't open a wine bottle is like a horse with a broken leg.
Yeah.
We're gonna make you glue.
We're gonna have to put it. Yeah, we're gonna put them down. So it's like the same thing. You should know, like, if it's your wife's birthday or something one day, you better know how to host that shit.
Right.
I feel like that's gonna happen in the future. Women are gonna turn a certain class of men into glue.
Can I ask you both a question? Because technically, you guys like so your parents. You said they're from Russia, right?
Yeah.
So they're from Russia and they came over here and you were born here.
Right.
So okay, but you're a product of immigrants technically.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So do you think like and I'm an immigrant, you're an immigrant.
Yeah.
Do you think has comedy being an immigrant or immigrant descent has helped your comedy to see certain? Does it actually like shape it any way or help you in any way?
You want to take that or?
For me, 100%.
Okay.
Because here's what I think. I think human beings are like, you know how bees. I don't think people should be separated by race. I think people should be separated by personality types, the way bees are. Like there's worker bees, soldier bees, queen bees. Like there's different categories. Everybody kind of knows their place. And I think people are like that with their personalities. Like there's only 13 different kinds of people. Like there's 13 different kind of archetypes in every story ever told. So there shouldn't be thousands of different nationalities. There should just be 13 different personality types, and we don't exist by land. We exist by how we see the world. And I think when someone tells you you're a worker bee, then you behave like a worker bee, and that's the way the world functions. Like you're a cog in the wheel. And I think that's like in our computer brain that we were born with. Like computers come with certain programs that come with the computer, and we've got some of that. That's in us, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what we're going through in society right now. We're getting a software update on how to treat women, gay people, all that other shit. And some of us are downloading the update, and some of us are flip phones.
That's so funny, dude. We've had a similar conversation on that and saying, we were talking about this in that, like, the cultural evolution is moving so fast that, like...
Faster than ever.
Like, 200 years ago,
yeah.
your grandfather and your father were basically growing up in the same, like... Things weren't changing that much in the culture that you had to, like, we have, cars and cell phones now, or, you can't, black people are free.
You know what you just said that's scary?
But now every 10 years, every 5 years, things are changing. So, like I'm out of date compared to Lev, and Lev's fucking way behind 13-year-olds. Like, there's no...
Oh, dude, I look at these kids now. Like,
this is funny. A kid is telling me I look at these kids now.
Dude, I'm 21. I'm seeing what these kids are doing on Instagram. It's like I've grown up with technology. I know this shit, but I'm seeing them showing me shit. Like, I don't know how to tag a thing in my Instagram anymore. I don't know how to do it. These kids can do it. I can't. But as far as like what you're saying about immigrants, I think that you'll probably agree with this and that. Mm-hmm. I don't think it changes my comedy. What I think it changes is who I am as a person. Because I very much have an immigrant mentality in the way I move. And what I mean by that is like me and Tamer were talking today about like there's something about immigrant people that they just understand. You never betray your friends. You never throw them under the bus because where they come from, that's all you had, man. Yeah. All you had was who was with you.
Your personality dictates where you migrate towards. Like certain birds fly different directions, different times of years. People migrate towards certain things. So I think the people that are immigrants are similar birds, even though they're from different countries. They're similar birds.
Well, the difference is they're people, and they actually have an experience to know. Like I said, you wouldn't know that like the values that you were talking about that were important to you. Loyalty, honesty, integrity. Those are things that are partially taught by that. Might be innate, but also taught to you. And culturally, immigrants still sort of have to hold on to those things because they live in a community amongst each other, not in a gated community, and not knowing their neighbors. Like that sort of that poverty and the experience of leaving one country to go to another forces you to actually interact with the world around you. That builds a character. That people who just grow up sheltered in the suburbs, don't go to the park, wear a helmet, don't get to experience.
But, and I'll tell it to you this way: is like also I am identified as a white guy. But I'll tell you this: when it comes to the end of the day, I don't trust my white friends with something. I don't trust my white friends with like something like my life. You know what I mean? Like if I had to call, like here's my dad's best friend. Explain it to me this way: he's a Russian guy, he's Russian military, like real deal dude. You know what I'm saying? And he said to me, he goes, in life, you're only gonna have 3 real friends. That's all you can have.
This is the exact thing my mother told me as a kid.
And she's like,
exactly.
And he goes,
and I said, what do you mean? What do you mean? But when my mom says someone will pay your rent and not ask you why.
Right. And the same way he said to me is like if your father calls me at 4 a.m. and says I need you over here, we got to take care of something. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah,
we're moving a body, whatever.
That's what I said. And that's what I would say to my brother. Like you need me to bring a shovel. And that's the only question I would ask.
Right. And I watched like even with my parents and you watch with your parent. Like my dad had his best friend he worked with, an American guy. After 10 years, the guy got made a complaint about my dad, and then the guy got fired for it. Not my dad, but the other guy.
Yeah.
And it's like And I'm like, fuck, that's crazy. These Americans, like, they just don't have that brotherhood loyalty. Like
fuck no.
I don't know if it's because. But see, here's where I think classifying people by country is off. It doesn't work anymore. So here's what I think. Right?
It never worked.
Here's what I think. I feel like immigrants are showing people that the way you raise human beings is actually, if you treat them a little harshly, they grow stronger.
Yeah.
It's like we discovered
Well, that's what America was good at before.
Exactly. If you treat human beings more like a cactus, then they become stronger, better people. If you treat people like a willow that you water all the time, like a Donald Trump, you become this rotten plant.
Well, that's what I say about millennials. That's what I say about millennials,
It
of
makes
which
you
I am
weak.
one of the oldest possible millennials, as is Chase. Like, we're the bitter end, and you're probably the youngest possible millennial that could be.
Right.
In terms of that the way they define that generation. But it was exactly what you're saying, Tamer. It's these kids weren't raised in a vacuum.
Yeah.
The media and the boomers were saying these kids are lazy and entitled.
Yeah.
And why do they think why are they living at home still? It's like, you raised these kids, you boomers, and you treated that you wear a helmet, don't go outside, everything became fucking Scotch guarded, safeguarded. It's like, well, if you raise a pussy, now you got a pussy.
I think the
You know how-
blame
parental
yourself.
generation-
You know how
Kids
beautiful-
aren't fucked up on their own. Kids only learn what they can
You
do.
know how beautiful that message is? The beauty of that message is it kills the "it gets better." Because here's what it is. It's not "it gets better." It's that the bad stuff makes you better now.
Yeah, it makes you prepared to handle
You
it.
are better by going through this. Not "it gets better." You don't have to hold your breath and wait. You have to sit there and go, you know what? I'm glad I'm going through this because it's making me a better
And what's scary is
person.
it's small problems. Like, I don't want him to break his arm, so he's not going to play football. It's like, what about a real problem, like when he gets cancer at 38 or something? Like it doesn't prepare you for real kids learn things. Growing up, and a lot of it was through what they're told, but more importantly, what they see. And if they don't experience anything, they're going to learn fucking anything.
Yeah. Here's the sweet justice, the universal beauty of it is that racists make their victims stronger. It's like spraying an athlete with steroids.
Yeah.
Your hate is literally making me a better version of myself.
Well, you see
Like
the
the
ignorance in it.
harshness of the sun makes a cactus stronger.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like the harshness of racism actually gives you a beautiful fruit. It makes a better person.
That's why I'm racist.
Thank you.
I said I'm helping you.
First of all, we're all, and it's not just
Exactly.
racist, we're all a little bigoted in our preconceived notions. That's a universal thing. When people don't acknowledge that we're human and we're not all perfect and that we're ignorant and that we can't stand for something to learn, that's when I have a problem. That's why ignorance is the most extreme form of ignorance. Racism is the most extreme form of ignorance that I could possibly
Well,
imagine.
it's also so flippant. Like I was telling Lev, I had a friend who said he
flip-
thought his
Flippant. I'm sorry.
flippant. It's meaningless. It's
Okay.
it's like it's got the consistency of jelly. There's no real structure to it.
I like it.
I love how you
right.
reacted to the word with "ooh."
I like
Because
that.
it is right.
That's a good sounding word.
Because here's it's just a unit of measure. That's it. And you can make up a unit of measure about anything.
Right.
Like I have a friend of mine who's like, well, you got to understand why I don't trust all Arabs. And I go, I do understand why, but I think you're an adult and you should be able to look at that instinct and be like, yeah, I'm beyond that. Like when a dog growls at me, I have an instinct to bite it. I don't bite it. You know, I have an instinct to take a shit right now. I wait till I get to a toilet. You know what I mean? It's like you don't
It's
have
something
to
we say on this
be-
podcast, a term we use a lot, willful ignorance.
Willful, yeah.
It's like I
Yeah.
can deal with stupid people or people with different opinions. I cannot deal with someone who just insists on not knowing something new. Like
Exactly.
on just accepting something. It's like
here's the
you're a
absurdity.
fucking loser and you're boring. If you don't want to learn something,
yeah.
get out of my face.
But here's the
That's because you're
absurdity.
denying the idea that you could be wrong. That's the most frustrating thing.
Well, you're not curious. You're not if you're not curious, in my opinion, you can't be interesting.
Well, here's
You
what
know,
it
and
is.
if you
hear
don't want
that, straight women?
You got to question. If you don't question the shit that's inside you, then you don't get to evolve. Like this cat was basically saying he doesn't trust Arabs, and then months later, beautifully, the universe put him like fucking right in front of me, saying to me, "I broke up with this chick because she's too hippy dippy." And she said that I need anger management classes because Scorpios have issues with anger.
They do.
Blah, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, isn't that crazy that she thinks just because I'm a Scorpio, blah, blah. And I go, dude,
That's not, yeah.
you said you don't trust Arabs, and you're giving her a problem for not trusting Scorpios. Why is when you were born a flippant unit of measure and where you were born an accurate
Well, that's my
one?
that, and
You
that's
know what you just made me realize?
and that's
Boom.
and that's
That's
my-
how silly racism
That's the
is.
angle I take with this Islamic extremism. It's like
That's silly.
wait a minute, bad ideas are bad ideas universally. Well, just like that woman's Scorpio idea, just like his fucking horrible idea. Like It's just,
But but you also like when you look at like terrorism and stuff, you don't go, oh yeah, it's not. Yeah, it is Muslims. It is in that region, and it is Muslims in that region. It stops you from finding out the real reason of the problem. Right? You can't just go, oh, it's Muslims. It's like going to a doctor and going, oh, it's common cold.
Well, it also
No, it's
stops
not.
you from
You
actually
can find
learning
out
how
what it
a
is.
solution that would work.
Exactly.
Like
now you can
getting
get rid
moderate
of the
Muslims
disease.
to kill their own cancer.
It's really poverty. It's illiteracy.
Well,
it's people
that's-
telling people what the Quran is saying when it didn't say that.
It's
That's the problem.
tribal. It's the us keeping the them down kind of thing.
It's desperation. Desperation creates
That's the thing
environments.
that's the funny thing about racism. I mean, racism is what keeps Republicans in office. Because if poor
Fear.
white people voted in lockstep with poor black and poor Latin people, it would be lights out for the Republican Party.
Well,
I mean,
Tamer
like,
just taught me a fucking big lesson in what he was saying, because he was saying and like the lesson is not all Arabs are terrorists. It's just the Scorpio Arabs.
It's just
They're prone to violence.
Scorpio. Every Scorpio
Also,
is
and when
prone
you
to terrorism.
Yeah,
But
but
look
that's that's how we check it out. Like on the FBI list, it's just all Scorpios. Do
When
not
were
fly.
you born?
Yeah.
You go through the airport. When were you born?
This
Yeah.
is for me when I look at it, right, as an immigrant that came from a different country, as a refugee, right, from war.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like we know what war smells
I know
like.
what fucking it smells like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know what like families crying because of their fucking people are dying.
Yeah.
I know what pain is. You know what I'm saying? I know what the real thing is. Yeah. So what I'm saying is in this room right now, right? In terms of how life and we're in America now, you do not know where you're gonna end up. But this right here, look at what we have. We got immigrant from Africa. 20-year-old kid from Russia. Parents are from Russia.
It's 21. It's a big year.
21's huge. Right?
3 skinny guys.
Tamer. Yeah, 3 skinny guys technically.
I'm just fired back.
I was going more for the emotional fucking thing, not the physical.
and of
but-
course, comedians saw those. Like, oh, he's making a nice, sweet remark. Let's just butcher it with jokes.
Yeah.
Because we're not allowed to have any good in our lives.
But it's like
Russian, African, like Egyptian, parents half Muslim, half Jewish,
Right.
biracial, scumbag,
Yeah.
from fucking, but great dude, half Dominican, half Irish, So it's like, look at how this, it just comes together.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Let me ask you this: does it for your guys' generations? Do you notice that of like, all these 3 waves are here? There's all these different people here.
That's the thing about getting older.
Can I say something you made me think of? Because I've been thinking very metaphorically today. Here, it means that the collection of thoughts in this room is all super different, and the perspectives and the worldviews it all comes from a varied place. And if you start thinking of thoughts like DNA, if you only hang out with people that think like you, it's like only having sex with people that are related to you.
And that's a huge
and your
point I'm trying to
ideas
make.
and your offspring come out retarded.
That's why I don't like willful ignorance. I exactly right. Yeah, I'd like to be surrounded by different shit. Like that's why I have a
different-
huge disrespect for willful
if
ignorance.
God teaches us anything, it's not just in the Bible; it's in the things that He makes.
That's how
so
racism
what does He teach us
persists.
about the things that He makes?
Segregation.
Well, it persists the same way
If you
terrorism
grow up,
Diversity
if you
makes
grow
you
up with a diverse
stronger.
group of kids, you don't have a problem with.
race-
There's no racism problem.
yeah.
Like if you grow up around.
Diversity makes us stronger. That's shown in nature. That's shown by God. Diversity makes us stronger. So any form of supremacy, elitism, separatism is proven by, like, in nature, there's evidence of it. You don't have to, if you believe in a God, don't just look at the book. Look at what He did. And you can see it in nature. Not just the penguins that hook up with each other, but actually, if you start thinking with only people that think like you
It's
do,
narrow-minded.
It's narrow.
And
narrowness.
I said boring. I can't even imagine. Like,
Drives me
Well,
crazy.
for him, like for
it's
Randy,
so
like
fucking boring to be around the same people.
Like for
Exactly.
for comics, like we're like we actually have to deal. Well, even if you don't want to deal with it, we have to. It's because we.
It's what we do.
It's what we do. Like we're in very diverse realm here. You know what I mean? Like, but let's say if you're in a job that's like you only are around the same people who think of what that job's supposed to be.
You and I've been there. It's fucking.
Like Randy was in like he left. He's been doing comedy for a
stuff
year
in
and a
your
half, but he
finance.
was in finance. I'm pretty sure like how much diversity was in that group there, where you were able to see like different ways of thinking.
I had to seek it out. I like I said.
See?
You know what I'm saying? Like I went from, white, blue-blooded firms to working for a Korean guy who like started his own thing because I did not want to work.
Guy.
Yeah.
Never graduated. That was just my race. That was my one thing.
You don't like Koreans? You're anti-Korean?
Well, one thing I realized
I would have said
during-
Chinese, but that's
Yeah.
fine.
I realized during this conversation,
Korean Chinese?
is that the same thing that breeds racism is the exact same thing that breeds terrorism. It's small communities that don't allow new ideas.
Yeah.
That don't allow ideas in.
Like religion or like like any other mind control trick.
I see.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's like that. It's fear and not letting in.
Dude, you've told me this.
So is that like kind of like? Can you say for with Democrats and Republicans, where can you say like they're products of like that particular statement too?
For sure. There's definitely a bubble going on both sides. I mean, one is worse than the other for sure, but there's certainly dealing with the same issues.
But can we even say that though?
Is one worse than the other?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can.
Instinctively, I want to disagree with it.
The more I look at the Democrat-Republican thing, the more I think of Bill Hicks and that this is all just a ride.
No,
like
it
this
is.
is all the software we came with. It's all Democrat and Republican. If those theologies were treated like an image, it would look like yin yang.
Well,
Like one powers the other.
They're both absolutely ridiculous in
they're opposing energies.
in their extremities. I mean, what I always say, because I'm actually mostly a liberal guy, and I have a lot of conservative friends, and they're like I agree with them more than they think I would, and like, why aren't you conservative? I'm like, well, because I just agree more with this. But the example I always make is this: it's like everyone, 90% of us all want the same outcomes. Let's start there. Like every super hardcore righty and lefty want basically the same things. Safety,
What do you mean by that?
I mean safety, security, and opportunity. Right? Everyone wants to be safe living in the United States. They want to be, they want to have opportunity to move up.
There's one thing that small town America wants that we don't consider.
Skinny people.
And I think it's no, but I think it's the root of all of our problems.
What religion? Probably.
They want to belong, and what people forget is belonging is the strongest human drive is the drive to belong.
No, but liberals also want to belong. There's a lot.
But it's different. I'm saying
it's not as dangerous.
We bully
Not as-
small town America. We bully them. We
Oh,
make
it's
fun of
horrible.
them.
No,
we
it's
mock
part of the
them
problem.
in
That's
our
part of the-
media.
Dangerous in the conversation.
I wanna hear you.
The least represented person right now are poor white rural people, without question.
Yeah.
In terms
And
of
they're starting to
media
feel-
coverage, without question.
Dude, like I saw this study where it talked with these small town women that were they were anti-feminism, and they would protest against feminist activities, feminist platforms, and when they asked them and they interviewed them, they would say things like, "I think it's good for women to progress, but what's wrong with being a stay-at-home mom?" They had this perception that feminism was excluding the choice to be a stay-at-home mom.
But in some ways, it was Tamer.
it-
It was
it-
demonizing it.
You're right.
Because that movement, the
But
individuals,
feminists would say that they never said that. But Maya
just like Republicans
Angelou-
say they believe in family values and they
but
keep
Maya
fucking up.
Angelou
Wait,
would
let
say-
him
She would
finish what he's
say,
saying.
people don't remember what you do or say; they remember how you made them feel. And that's the feminism thing is making small town America feel like they're not a part of America anymore. And that's that drive to belong is stronger than anything else. And that's
Tribalism.
why they fought so ferociously. And Trump was smart enough to go that these people. It's not the people. It's not page views that matter. It's the people who comment. It's the people who come to your shows. It's not just the people who hit the like button.
Yeah.
Like the Democratic Party has been focused on the people who hit the like button,
Yeah.
and Trump was focused on the people that would leave tirades at the comments.
Well, so and it's just to piggyback on that, you're right in that not only is it.
I don't know how this went political. I'm sorry.
No, we saved it for the end. We saved it for the end.
I spin out, man.
No, man. But I agree with you. But like I said, what exacerbates that also I hate these labels: progressive, left, whatever. The extreme liberals, or even just basic or general like CNN, they cover they'll cover stories about how the drug problem in Chicago. And there's an opioid crisis, but they're not talking about the opioid crisis in rural Alabama. So,
Yeah,
so
you're
the,
right.
Binghamton or
so
some
the
shit.
fact that everyone, we recognize there's a problem in the black community with heroin, but the fact they just don't even talk about the problem with heroin in poor white communities all over the place is that exclusion, which, like you said, leads to that. Oh, I don't belong. There's nobody for
Fuck
me.
the heroin
Absolutely.
shit. What
Yeah.
about the stories of fucking fat guys who are supposed to be skinny like me? And fucking Lev, a beautiful man, fucking crushing my fucking fist.
Oh,
like
well,
my,
that's another one. Don't even get me started on the shaming thing, the fat shaming thing.
Here's the thing, though.
When did shame become a hate crime?
The narrative is so dangerous on both sides. On the
So
Republican
myopic. It's so myopic.
Yeah, it's all. That's the thing. That's why I can't care. Is because I see how fucking. It's just such a
But
waste.
They want you to
of
not.
time.
They want you to not care.
No, they
Exactly.
don't.
They
though.
do.
Because here's the
They
thing:
want you not to talk to the
Republicans-
other side.
Republican
'cause
words.
They want control.
Republican words are right now they are destructive. They're hate inciting a lot of the time in the news. But then on the other side, Democratic words are one-minded, too controlling.
Sure.
Also, just as closed off to new things. It's
And think about that. Think about
Which
that.
is leading us to all move back to be moderates.
Exactly.
Which is exactly what the country needs. This
That-
is the
and that's what
cultural
happened to me.
version.
Well, that was the
it's
vote that won.
It's a cultural
60
version of a forest fire,
Yeah.
where it's like we're a fire that it's destroying in order to create.
Right.
So this might be us shitting out. Like when you get shitting
I've said that
coffee out
before.
of our butt.
Let me ask you this.
Trump is the enema for the country.
He
It
is
makes you
the
make sure
enema.
refocus.
He's the enema.
My generation doesn't identify as Democrat or Republican. We don't. We just see as ourselves, and then when we vote, we just like, who do I agree with more? But we don't give a shit about the party. Like I was in a fucking meeting, and like they were explaining to me the demographics. Like young people now, they don't care about this. Like they don't identify as genders. They don't identify.
That's
as
what terrifies
race.
politicians the most. Young
Yeah.
people voting.
Good.
Good. Yeah, you should.
That should be the response to growing up feeling like you're controlled.
Right, but it's like
That should be the response,
But
is
to
F
me,
you.
as a comedian, and I feel like you'd agree with this, is like what Democrats and liberals are doing destroys free speech and things like that. Like people,
that is where they lose all of their
Yeah.
goodwill.
I still know you're a boy, though.
No, but it's like no, but it's like for example, me and Tamer were talking about Owen Benjamin, and he was like, man, the guy, Tamer's like, he's such a great guy, but he's getting in hot water right now
Yeah.
for
I don't know
some
what's
of the
happening
things
with
he's
him.
tweeting.
What's Owen saying?
Joey Diaz took shit for talking about.
Yeah,
No, it's
What's
a
up?
different thing. This is very different.
yeah, but my thing
What
is,
did
like,
he say?
I will.
It was tough. Do we want to get into it?
Listen.
Just what would be called controversial by any media right now.
I can talk. Like, I'm not afraid to talk about it. But here's the bizarre experience for me, and I imagine.
Before you even said that,
Sure.
because I was gonna pull it back for a second because we were talking about that. I was gonna say all this stuff that we're talking about. How does that affect us as comics?
That's how. It's that right now, it's like what Democrats and liberals are pushing for right now. It's like when you go do a show, if I, in my set, just say black people,
Sure.
I will hear
Thank you,
gasps
by the way.
from the crowd. I will literally hear gasps. And it's like, I didn't even say they steal yet. Like, let me get to it. You know what I mean? It's like, that's the problem. And I think, like I was defending Owen Benjamin saying, okay, some of these tweets are like, these are pretty out there. This is like, I shouldn't be defending it, but I will always defend that there's somebody at least fighting for the right to say some crazy shit.
I agree with that
no matter if I
100%.
disagree with it. And any comic who says otherwise, I think should be out of this fucking business.
When Howard Dean said that,
unless you're inciting violence.
that's
the
no,
only
of
thing.
course.
Yeah.
Right.
But when Howard Dean said that, like whatever some bullshit Rush Limbaugh said was, he made some horrible comment, quasi racist, and he's like, hate speech is not covered by the First Amendment. I'm like, are you out of your mind?
Right.
Like it is.
As
like,
long as it's not inciting violence. That's the one thing I
No,
will
I
say
know,
about
yeah.
protecting hate speech.
no, but he was. Of course not. But shouting fire. There, you know
there's
the
certain
difference.
Where, like, here's where I think
I want racist people to say
there's
racist shit, so I know they're racist and they're fucking ignorant.
Yes,
It's like the
exactly.
same thing with a guy who wears like the Future's feminine T-shirt. You're like, I know that guy rapes.
Now, if those guys, you're
Yeah,
identifying.
I know that guy.
But if those guys in Charlotte strap up guns and are like, yeah, let's go march down and shoot somebody. Of course, it's. But,
and that's the thing is like there's got to be a point where you go individual rights, yes, until there's the greater good for me is like theologically like saying martial law.
Yeah.
like or women and children first.
but I feel like the gray area is not that difficult to find in this debate or
As
the
long
gun
as we're-
debate
exactly,
or a
as
lot
long
of these
as
debates. I feel like the
neighbors
gray area is
don't-
well known.
As long as neighbors don't treat each other like enemies, and your concern is not that the government is going to attack you, as long as your thoughts are like there is even a thing in the law called the rational man clause, which means if a rational person thinks this, then the language should be the language is what the language is. Right? If a rational person is confused by this, then that's troublesome language. And there's right now there are irrationality.
Completely irrational. Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as like, I was telling him today, I was like, man, honestly, like, I am glad Trump won the presidency. I didn't vote for him. I voted for Hillary. But because I couldn't, it's like the thing you want to happen but won't happen. Because my suspicion was is that he would do such a bad job that it would create discussions. People would become more politically active. We're right now, it's chaotic, but more people are discussing ideas and having these conversations than any time.
You know
before.
what Chase said to me?
I took the opposite route. I mean, I fucked up. I'm gonna tell you right now. I fucked up.
Would you vote for Trump?
I mean, that's a lot of story. I can't vote, but we'll talk about that.
I can't.
Because if you say it's going to invoke violence,
I can't vote. I got warrants.
We talk about that later. Right. In my heart, I wanted to vote for somebody. You know what I mean? But what I thought was in my mind, like I probably got fucking sucked in. You know, I really thought at that point when he got elected, I was like, okay, this guy shook up the fucking world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's see if he's fucking smart enough to fucking shake up some fucking people's heads by like changing some things. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, if
gave
I
him
was
a shot. You gave him the old college try.
I gave him the shot. Like, oh, let's see if he actually fucking is smart enough to use this platform. To
Breaking
fucking
my
shit.
heart.
Actually, you know what Chase said to me after he got elected? No.
But it was quick. I mean, after
No, of course.
quick.
I understand how he could trick people like that. The only thing,
'Cause
the,
hope, man,
the
hope.
metaphor I was always taught is that the White House is for morality what the runways in Paris are for fashion. You see something there and you go, that's in vogue. I can act like that now. That's why I didn't trust this guy from minute one, because he said racist things, and I knew it would bring racism back.
I didn't trust him because no New Yorker trusts him. He lost New York. He's a rug merchant. He's a filthy fucking
corrupt business
two-bit con man rug merchant.
And here's the thing: there's nobody that
He's not even good at stealing.
Right. I can't say that there's nobody who like approves of his presidency, because there are other people across the country that do.
Of course.
But however,
Hillary wasn't the most likable person.
right. But
She lost. She deserved to lose to him.
But I think that through his
Yeah.
failures, the conversations he's creating are good for this country. And what I asked Tamer was like, if we're getting a great end result out of it,
I hate to.
does it
admit
matter how we're getting there?
It's like a stripper thanking her shitty dad for making her a great dancer. You know what I mean?
Thanks for all the pain that made me better.
This is the thing.
Thanks for never paying attention to me, Papa.
On this
Well,
podcast itself, like I don't like to talk about Trump a lot, but this is what I will say.
It's overdone.
Right?
Sure.
Because but not just because it's like
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like it's not so much not important as much as like the type of energy that I fucking just have. after.
That's a very honest answer. Yeah, I that's the most. That's the most correct answer.
And you know what? This is what I wanted to say when we started
You're
this.
right. You're absolutely right.
Do you know what you said to me
Right.
when you found out he won? I don't know if you remember this. When we found out he won, he's like, everyone was upset. He's like, who gives a fuck? He's like, you think it's the first racist president we've had?
Yeah.
He's like, black people have...
But not like
we
this.
were 1 out of 42. He's like, I don't give a shit about the rest. Back to usual is what Chase said. I'm like, yeah.
And then
He's just. I used to say I wasn't worried about the president in the office. I was worried about a guy next door.
Yeah,
Who
I understand.
all of a sudden
but the
his-
sentiment that
they're
Chase had
showing
of
off- the
whatever, I'm going to live
racism-
my life. That was what I kind of dug, you know? It's
I
like,
liked
Tamer,
when people were ashamed of racism. Now there's some things. There's some victims already that are like people are. For racism to be in vogue is un-American.
I mean, it's just not in vogue. It's just they're coming out of the closet.
listen to this. I'll tell you this.
Yeah, I think people are much more bold than they're much
No,
bolder
they are.
than they ever were.
Good.
No, they are.
I want to know that people have fucking bad intentions if they have bad intentions.
Yeah, but it makes life more scary for people, and it shouldn't be America approved.
No,
that's what I don't like.
No, it isn't. And, but
shouldn't be
what I
America
always say
approved.
is, in democracy, you don't always get what you vote for, but you get what you deserve.
Yeah.
So if we don't like
reserve
this-
racism.
We don't deserve racism,
We don't
no.
deserve racism.
Don't you think America has
we let it
Our
linger too?
Vietnam vet-
Apparently, we let it linger too fucking
World
long,
War
and
II
now we got to
veterans
deal with
don't
it.
Don't you
deserve
think it
Nazis.
didn't just pop
We
up?
gotta deal with
It's
it,
just
though.
been quiet this whole time.
It should be quieted. It will never go away, but it should be put in a dark corner.
We
and
thought we had it
locked.
better pegged than it actually is, Tamer. And apparently we haven't done as good a
You know
job.
what here's
we
what's
need to do
happening.
better.
Here's what's happening. And this is the same thing with terrorism. We have not exposed racism. We've exposed desperation. We have not exposed bigotry and prejudice. We've exposed insecurity, a poor economy, and a huge population of uneducated people. That's what we've exposed.
And you have to expose it to fix it.
Yeah, but we have
Exactly.
you have to correctly identify it. It's desperation, and that's what's creating these
know,
racism.
I know.
But Tamer,
what
the
I'm saying with
thing
Len is-
has
It's
to be
not
said
racism.
out loud in order for people to beat that idea out of you. When I moved here at 18, there was a lot of bad opinions I had. And people had to beat that out of me saying them out loud. If I never said these things out loud, I would still have those beliefs.
Think about it this
Sure,
way,
sure.
Tamer. And I always this is in a weird way very true about American society, American culture. We as Americans don't do shit until our backs are absolutely against the wall, and it's the last option. And then all of a sudden, we end slavery and give women the right to vote and build democracy. And World War II, like we're always the last ones in, but we correct it to better than other people, than other nations
write
can.
the fucking books as we want to.
And unfortunately, to stamp out guys like this, these thoughts, we need to know that we weren't as far along as we thought we were.
Listen, it's
no
the
different.
medical equivalent of bleeding people with a knife. Like it's you might say that it's making you better, but we're more sophisticated than that.
I didn't ask for it. I didn't ask for it, but
we're better than that. We can solve these problems.
That's my
without
point, Tamer. Apparently,
putting children's lives.
What saying.
We can solve the problem without putting people's lives in danger, without having kids in danger, without dude. I don't want him to get credit for anything getting better. He's making things.
I'm
worse.
not giving him any credit for that.
No, I know you're not, but I'm saying even people that energy wise, we're talking about these things now, and we are. It's good that we are, but it could have been done with a better leader.
Oh, I mean, that's without question. I mean,
This was
so horrible.
And I'm not even saying it's Hillary, but we had better leaders out there.
I'm
I
saying,
think Hillary underestimated
even for
him.
America, this is fucking it's embarrassing how bad he is
embarrassing.
as a choice.
And it affects the world. The world,
it-
they copy us. They see we have a
he's
we have
horribly
a responsibility.
embarrassing.
We have a responsibility to the rest of the world to behave in a certain way. You can be the toughest dude in the world, but all of us has someone in our family that is susceptible to people treating them harshly. Whether it's an elderly person or a skinny person or a person who doesn't know self-defense. And so it's better for all of us to live in a more civilized world. Like threatening.
I agree, and I'm not defending Trump, but what I'm saying is...
It's inexcusable for Trump to play nuclear war games with a guy like Let's Play who's got the biggest dick, literally saying I have a bigger nuclear button.
Yeah.
It's anxiety. It's not fair to elderly people to be treated that way. It's not fair for kids to
I'm
feel...
giving no one a pass on this time.
I know, but
what I'm saying is...
What about fairness?
No.
I'm getting worked
I love
up.
how passionate you are. What I'm saying is, we all hoped we were farther along. Yeah, we all hoped as an American side we were farther along. And unfortunately, we're back here
Here's
again.
the danger.
We're in flat Earth territory.
But
Literally
here's
flat
the
Earth
difference.
Earth thing.
I come from the third world, and a lot of my friends that are telling me I overdo it don't.
Oh,
because
no.
I'm not saying you.
The American dream exists beyond America's borders. That's where it lives now.
I act more anxiety-ridden because I know
what America is.
I know what the end result of this is. Leaving Egypt for America was like somebody took me away from an abusive dad who was a drinker, and now I'm in America who's a good dad, and 15 years
now he's
later,
beating the wife.
good dad has alcohol in his breath, and I'm starting to panic, and my siblings are like, it's no big deal, bro.
That's exactly the vibe I got. I just got back from Colombia a couple months ago. That's the vibe I got. You're absolutely right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Like I said, the American dream lives with immigrants outside of America now.
He literally said that China having a dictator for life is a great idea. We might try that someday, and we all act like that insane language is just like...
Because it wasn't the crazy thing you said that week.
We become numb to it.
Exactly. It wasn't
That's
even the crazy thing you
dangerous
said that week.
language.
But he's an internet troll. His whole career is built off of getting a reaction out of people.
No, he's the president of the United States of America. He is an internet troll.
Right.
And he doesn't have the self-control.
But
Not having self-control is the reason why every president has had to have a wife. Because we didn't even trust a guy to be single to be president. We needed stability.
right.
That's why every president has to pretend to have a religion.
Yeah.
And now we have a guy. This has made religion look so bad. There are people that will quit religion because of this guy.
We're taking callers. We got Tamer on the box.
let me ask you this, because every person I've met
Says an atheist
has
by the way.
told me that Trump tweeting is so unpresidential. And I'll tell you this: the next president that we elect, do you think that America will find it acceptable if they are not active on Twitter the way Trump is?
I thought you were gonna say, will they be acceptable for fat people to run?
No, never.
I think the next president will go the opposite way because humanity tends to go. That's how we go through trends. We go polar opposite. We do something till we're sick of it, and then we do the opposite of it. That's why we went from metrosexual to the guys who tip their hair with blonde to retrosexual, and now we look like a lumberjack.
That's what I warn my conservative friends
That's
about.
the way
I'm like,
human
do
trend-
you know what the
Yeah, of
liberal,
course.
what the
And I
liberal
believe in the
Trump would look
pendulum,
like?
we will go that way.
But I believe. Here's the thing, though. I don't think so. I think when it comes to this, Trump has been the most modern president we've ever had.
He's not modern.
Dude, he's
What's
on.
modern about him? He doesn't even know how to use it.
I don't like the guy.
He's an absolute
He's not
imbecile.
He's on
modern.
Twitter like a rat. rapper talking shit.
But I know a homeless guy who's on Twitter. I don't think that's a modern.
I don't want to say that's a modern
That's a
thing.
modern homeless guy.
That's just him having access to the internet.
Actually, I would say he's a modern homeless.
Dude,
You're right.
if he's on Twitter going, "Hey, I'm on 34th and 1st,"
Yeah, but it's only one platform. It's only one platform. He's not a really digital person.
I think he just has access. He pays his cable bill on time. He has Wi-Fi.
He's the white donkey.
and he's able to get on the internet. You know what I'm saying?
He is the white donkey.
With all this, that just happened.
It's
right?
like throwing a dead baby at a keyboard and going, "He's an author."
Jesus.
Just a bunch of gibberish comes out.
Think about what it's like for people the three presidents that my age have seen.
I want to
George W. Bush,
right,
Barack Obama,
skinny,
and Trump.
fucking fat. That's why you don't fucking
Trump
like him.
gained 100 pounds in a year. He's on your diet.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck diet. That's what it is.
Trump doesn't drink, and that alone, I cannot trust that man.
Yeah.
If there's anything that Trump has taught us, is that presidents should drink.
Like Jay said, you gotta have a little
And
bit of dirt
smoke
on you
weed.
for me to trust you.
That's what my generation did to us, like Barry O. Like he's a man.
I feel like he needs to, obviously with Trump, if he just smokes some weed, he would be
Do a mushroom trip.
He'd probably freak out and start crying. Like
there's no
he's
way
the
he-
saddest man in the world.
He really is.
The only thing he can't buy is what he wants, love.
Yeah, he
can't
really
buy
is
that.
so
well, the thing is,
pathetic.
you gotta understand.
It's like a story. It's like a modern
That's
story in the Bible.
why I don't like his
Tragic
vibe. It's like, oh my god.
Well, he's
He's so thirsty.
yes.
He's like,
Well,
I
he's
need
pretty much-
He's so
everybody to
thirsty.
love him.
Yes.
He's the thirstiest president. He's so thirsty. His hair is dry. Like his hair is even his hair needs water. It's like cotton candy.
But I would love to see Trump on Twitter like, what Tamer Kattan said about me, ridiculous. The man doesn't even have
He's
hair.
gonna
if I
block
was in a
you.
Twitter battle with him, I'd call him Thirsty Donnie. He's so
Oh my god, that sounds like a
thirsty.
creepy
Well,
Italian uncle.
I piggyback your on Twitter. I always see you always will fucking say something. If he says something, Tamer will just say some crazy stuff to
I
him
go
on
at him,
Twitter.
man.
Man.
I
It's
do,
like-
man. I go at him. I one time I wrote at real Donald Trump. I know you're sad.
You imagine if he called you?
I just picture him at 4 a.m. going, "Son of a bitch, Tamer."
That's what you want him to do. Who
I-
the fuck is Tamer Kattan?
I genuinely don't believe, and I think that they'll never admit to this, but I do not think he runs his Twitter. I think he has 15.
Oh, no,
I think
now
he has
you're- now
15
you're-
writers that do this
Now
shit
you're a
for
flat
him.
He has
earther.
some people who,
It's him.
during the waking hours. It's his office.
He has
But
to be
when
a
he's
crew,
taking his
yeah.
shit at 4 a.m. and blasting weird stuff out, that's
I
definitely
don't think they would allow a president to have a fucking
Dude,
Twitter
his
account.
texts-
That's part of the problem.
course,
They-
they can't control him. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
Yeah, they can't rein
That's
that
the problem.
animal in.
Everything, his behavior is
But doesn't
exactly
the party
what it is.
love that though? We have a president that we can't control.
No.
I kind of love that. I'll be honest.
This is something that
I mean, it's fun- it's-
because you're 21.
Yeah, but as a comedian,
'Cause you're
I'm like,
21.
yo, this dude's a pirate. Right?
Yeah, you're
Wow, he already gave up at
you're
21.
You're treating Trump like he's a bungee jump, but then at the end of the jump, you realize, oh, there's no cord.
Yeah, okay, but
Like,
even
he's
with
not-
everything he's doing,
he's not a
what
bungee
how in terms of our relationship to other countries, everything, how is it hurting us? Don't you think every
We
country,
look like
how is it-
absolute pathetic imbeciles.
Don't you?
The
Dude, they
way
hated us
women
before.
are being
What do you
treated-
think?
the
They
way-
didn't.
But they
women,
respected
men,
us. They
kids.
don't now, dude. Another government fucked with our election.
This is huge.
We
It's gonna hurt us
we
bad.
killed people for. We've killed dictators for less.
Here's what you're doing right now. It's the equivalent. It's America is so big. Culture is so big. It's like steering a boat,
Right.
and then turning the wheel really quick and going, look, nothing's happening. And I'm like, wait a minute.
The wake.
Just wait a little bit.
Yeah.
We're gonna shift hard. All the stuff that Trump is claiming is his success, that was Obama's.
Right.
All the increase in jobs, this is gonna kick us in the teeth. The economy's gonna suffer. Jobs are gonna suffer. These tariffs, these new trade tariffs that he's talking about, it is as if Trump is some kind of AI and Putin is
Oh
steering.
well, Gary Cohn's leaving the fucking.
This is what war
over
looks
this.
like now. This could be what war looks like now, and Trump is like a Trojan horse.
I think-
that is 100%
I think he's too dumb to do it on purpose.
I mean, I
putting
think
poison in our water, killing animals, killing national parks.
Fuck that, dude. It's
What-
dereliction of
why
duty.
would you do
Dereliction
that
of
if you
duty.
love this country?
Dereliction of duty when 17 intelligence officers tell you that another country launched an attack and you do nothing. That's just dereliction of duty. dude.
Another country said they're going to drop nuclear bombs on us, and his post was about Alec Baldwin. And he won't impose
probably
tariffs
saw-
against
Alec
Russia.
Baldwin got his numbers
What
up.
the
He has some
fuck?
fame.
I
on
know.
that.
I know.
It's as if he's a
in his
spy.
defense, Alec
I get
Baldwin
it.
was dropping
Yeah.
bombs on him.
Wouldn't this be the most amazing Michael Crichton story if the president
it
was
weren't
actually
true.
a
If it
spy?
weren't true.
If he worked for the KGB?
If it weren't true, it'd be funny, but
What, exactly. What if
Sorry.
it is true?
I mean, in his defense, he
I feel
probably
like a flat earther.
he probably
Yeah,
just
that's just crazy.
He probably
It's
just
way less crazy than you thinking he doesn't tweet his own tweets.
I don't think he tweets his own tweet, dude.
I think he
guarantee.
totally
I think he
does.
literally has like writers. that
Judging
even-
by the grammar, I can tell you he does.
He
No, but that's
does.
what I'm saying. I think literally the writers even make the spelling mistakes
my
to make it look more authentic.
hey man.
no, dude, they're
now
not
he
that good.
He's
Way too much credit. It's like saying
Yeah.
Bush did 9/11. It's like, that guy couldn't spell cat. Like, fucking, no way.
but he definitely was
Everybody
on.
knows the Jews.
He definitely was fit.
He spelled cat with a
He definitely,
he didn't even know the letter for the word.
My favorite
the
video is when
sound.
that guy threw the shoe at him at a press conference.
What? Get it out.
What was she saying?
I want to get something out, but fucking.
No, Tamer's on his
sorry.
box.
Too fat and chill, man. You gotta fucking get in there.
But they were. They
gotta wrap this up,
They
7
got
o'clock.
fired up. I like to fucking hear them get fired up.
Yeah.
I just want to be skinny.
Chase brings it back to himself. What about me and my wits?
You stole that from Sarah Silverman, from Amy Schumer.
I did.
No, I'm just
After this
kidding.
podcast,
Amy
Trump
Schumer made
will
him
add
like
you
that.
on Twitter and be like, "You'll never be skinny."
Well, it's not the first time she stole some.
Oh,
Shots fired? Nah, it wasn't Chase's fault.
Well, that's what I read in the paper. Like she's.
I love that we're responding like she's gonna hear. This.
I know she won't.
That would be the best if it caused a controversy. That would mean we got famous.
Nah. I don't
I
know.
really like her. I think she's fucking.
Amy?
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Amy?
she's funny.
I think she's. I
No,
think
Amy's
Schumer-
great.
I thought the Amy Schumer show. That's where I really thought
Great
she
writers on that
shined.
show.
I thought the writing on that show was so good, and I really liked her acting in the sketches. I don't know.
Well,
I liked it.
I saw
Hate,
I saw what's his name?
I also like sugar cookies.
I think Kurt Metzger was
And
a big
Dr.
part of that.
Pepper.
Yeah.
He was a
Yeah,
he was
he's
great.
a great writer.
We saw him in L.A.
He's a great sketch writer too.
He was.
It's,
He was
it's 7 o'clock. We got to wrap this up, fellas, because you guys got a show and I got to take a leak.
Let's do this.
we
Yeah.
could
So
we
what
could
are we pushing?
have we could have segued that a little bit more warmly.
This is
I know, but the vibe we got right now is we're not going to stop talking until
saw-
somebody says shut the fuck up.
All right, you guys fucking talk about 20 minutes of Trump. I want to talk about fucking
Your weight.
nothing. I have nothing to talk about.
how far away is the hideout from here?
It's fucking
10
10
minutes
minutes.
10-minute walk.
Squeeze me for not being a resident of Bostonia.
It's 10 minutes.
I'm looking out for you and your show.
Hey man,
You'd be a great school teacher,
Lev,
by the way.
what is your social media?
4 + 4.
Shut up!
Yeah, what do you guys want to promote?
Shut up.
Lev Fersh on Twitter, LEVFERSH. On Instagram, that's where I'm most active, lev.fer.
Chase has something to say.
I have a podcast called Complicated with
Yeah.
Lev Fur.
Listen to that, guys. Complicated with Lev
Let 'em-
Fur.
And you can check me out on levfur.com. I perform all around New York. If you're in town, definitely hit me up. Come see a show.
He's very pretty, ladies.
Your
We have a lot of
first
female
album
listeners.
should be called Fur is Murder.
Oof.
You had better ones earlier.
I wish that joke would have murdered.
Tamer, to all your
Lev is banned by the PETA.
listen, we have a lot of Republican listeners. So what's your fucking?
What's your
My
address?
home address. Please welcome.
The half Jewish,
Come
half
on
Arab.
by. I want to make a movie called Hostel, where it's like a Republican, what do they resort?
Yeah. On
But
the,
then it's secretly a basement where I torture them.
Oh, that's easy. It's called Congress.
but you have to be a pharmaceutical company to torture the fucking.
Why is it that every Republican now looks
Did
like
you hear
he
Martin
watches
Skrull?
men fuck his wife?
Because they're gay, mostly.
Yeah.
I mean, I had an article about a gay Republican congressman, but I already threw it out.
I
'cause
feel
we're
like
skipping
the
it.
Republican Party should start writing their name with the R backwards. Hello.
Hello. That's the only thing that gets you thrown out of office if you're a Republican. If you fuck up the same sex, you can have sex with as many prostitutes as you want, or aren't your wife and coke, whatever. But if
Right.
you fuck a man once, over.
It's like, why is it anybody's business?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like hating someone for liking mint chip. Like,
Exactly
I'm gonna
right.
kill you. You enjoy mint chip? I'll kill you.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's like, why do you care?
Why don't you like Rocky Road?
I don't know how people
it's
have
not
the
just
time.
an ice cream. It's a philosophy.
Oh my god, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I'm so glad that he got everything out.
Oh, he geared up. He was.
Yeah,
he,
he-
he-
your podcast like the squatty potty.
it's all right. That's how we treat it. It's okay.
It's like a colonoscopy.
We got a new one though, guys. Genuality, Chase.
What's this?
It's going in the dictionary.
word?
That should
Yep.
be a
It's going in the RSP dictionary.
That's the name of a 90s rapper.
Oh wait, that's not a word.
We have about
No.
a dozen words Chase invented throughout the podcast.
So how do you say fucking someone's like who's very
He's genuine.
Authenticity.
Authentic.
Oh really? No, I like mine better.
I do like
genuality.
yours.
Okay.
Listen, it sounds like something that Jamiroquai
Yes.
written a song about.
It's an R. Kelly song.
It sounds like a
Genuine.
genuine album.
Yes.
Right. It's a genuine album. It's him on the cover in a purple fur coat.
I got the name of your first special.
You know what's funny? My AOL Instant Messenger fucking screen name was Genuine781.
I love how you're acting like you don't.
Do you even know what AOL Instant Messenger is?
Yeah, of course. That was the shit. I caught the very tail end of it, like the last 2 years, where like,
Oh, really? Wow.
yeah.
When you started sending dick pics?
No, back then I was just sending pics of my clit.
Just a soft 8-year-old penis, no hair.
I owe my first losing my virginity to AOL Instant Messenger.
There you go.
That's
If
tough.
that guy wouldn't have came to your apartment while your parents were gone.
You know what?
Zing, pal.
Fuck him. He loved me when I was fat. He didn't-
Do you get boners every time you hear a modem? It's like,
You got mail.
What's a modem?
You're like, oh, I'm so hard.
Oh yeah, that's a modem is what you do when you want to be. I don't know the fuck the modem is.
I was hoping he would pull through.
I was trying to pull through. I know. I
Like, he's
wanted
gonna
it.
think of it.
I had it, but then
What are you pushing, brother?
Let's see. My website is the best place to go. I'm up all around New York all the time. I get up every night. I've got some stuff coming up later in the year, hopefully on this season of America's Got Talent, fingers crossed.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a couple TV things I have in the hopper, but I'm a half a Jew and a half a Muslim, so I'm superstitious.
So he's got opinions.
I will not reveal.
There you go.
Hilarious.
The immigrant mentality.
My dreams
right.
are my secrets.
We love Tamer. What do you got coming up, bud?
fucking nothing.
Nothing.
Don't you have a marathon coming up?
Boston.
He'll win it. He'll win it right off the couch.
The funny thing is, I fucking know the people.
He does the book.
He does. He does.
I do know the
The
people.
marathon people?
Yeah.
Or marathon in Greece, the people?
I know the marathon people that actually like
Run the boss.
that run the bus.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
yeah.
Cool.
Oh wow.
Some of them are probably
Relations,
yeah, there's
relations,
some-
family,
Yeah.
distant
Oh,
family.
wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's a major
Yeah.
brand.
So fuck you, Lev. I'm a low key big
All right,
deal.
and I'm in Iceland next week.
You're in Iceland.
Iceland next
That's
week.
awesome.
Yeah, he says cool down. He's got to go over there, cool down.
That's
cool.
the most, that's the most
Train hockey
UN
players?
thing you've ever said to me.
I know.
in
My
Iceland
lady's taking me
next
there. But that's it, guys. Thank you for doing this.
Wait, are you gonna tell us about Iceland a little bit? What are you
Off
most
the
excited
air.
about?
Off the air.
Just tell us what you're most excited about, and that way when you
Northern
come
Lights.
back,
The Northern Lights.
you're most excited about seeing the Northern Lights.
Yes.
There you go. Then when you come back, you can tell them about the Northern Lights.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Continuity.
Ooh, that's a
Wow.
Watch Judd and
Jason, what? Son?
Watch a Judd
Got you,
Apatow.
son.
Watch a
Thank
Judd
you.
Apatow video sometime.
Tamer's a professional. I'm not. That's why he's getting paid the big bucks. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.
This was so
Thanks for
fun,
having
man. This
us.
was like
That's how we do it.
One of the most fun.
and we
things
didn't
we've
even get to the
ever
news.
had.
We'll do it for the next time.
Thanks for letting me poop while I podcast.
Absolutely.
Get some beers. Get some beer. Yeah, we chill.
All right, guys. That's Lev, Tamer, Chase. You know Chase, of course.
Yo.
And Randy. Peace.
Peace.